We are live. And unfortunately for everyone that tunes in today, you just got me. We don't have any cool, exciting guests today. You're just stuck. So sorry to burst your bubble on that. But I always wanted to have it live because I thought it'd be better than putting out a video because there's a whole bunch I wanted to talk about. And I didn't think I'd be able to get through it all in one video or make it really like kind of mesh together well. So I'm going to wait for a few people to kind of mosey on in here before we really start get going. But how is everyone doing today? We got Luke Gal, stonks, invest money. You got it. That's where we're at right now, especially in Japanese. Collectible accounting, join the lives. Thanks a lot. Scotty V, business as usual. That is what it is for the most part. There are some changes. We are going to talk about those today. But yeah, pretty much business as usual. Losty, what's up, man? Leaf Green Goblin. We got Mr. Walrus in here. Thanks for stopping by to say hi, man. All right. So main thing I really wanted to talk about today was kind of the changes we're seeing go through in the market. Talk about 151, talk about kind of getting a game plan together for navigating the rest of this year into 2024. But one of the biggest changes that we've seen in Scarlet and Violet so far has been the Pokemon Center ETBs. It's a completely different animal than what we've seen before. And, you know, people like to say, well, Pokemon ETB or Center ETBs, they performed well. They've outperformed ETBs. Yeah, they have, but you shouldn't be comparing them to regular ETBs. That's not what you should be comparing it to is what other investments could you make in the set, the booster box, right? And so what I did was I'm going to actually go ahead and share my screen here. Give me a second. I learned how to do this. Okay. Share screen, entire screen. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take us through all of the different PC ETBs. So they didn't start making these until Chilling Reign and then so on. I'm going to skip Celebrations and the specialty sets because they don't have a booster box to compare it to. But if we started Chilling Reign and we look at the Pokemon Center ETBs, right? So you got, you know, Chilling Reign right here and you have the other one down here, both artworks. You know, almost 60 and this one's 67. And so here's the thing with Pokemon Center. I couldn't find it myself. I even checked with a couple people. You can't use reseller permits or anything like that on Pokemon Center. So everyone is paying taxes. And so back in Sword and Shield, the boxes were $50 plus tax. Now they're $60 plus tax. So for all intents and purposes, depending on your tax rate, you're going to be paying more than $50 to get a Pokemon Center ETB off the Pokemon Center website. Shipping, you know, if you order enough, it's free shipping. So I'm not going to talk about shipping, but it's going to cost, you know, $52, $53, $54. Okay. That's what you're going to pay for a PC ETB. So when you see these Chilling Reign ones, you're really only up 5-10% on this one. And then maybe you're up about, I don't know, 20% ish, you know, 25-30% maybe on the Chilling Reign Ice Rider artwork. But the booster box, if you take it from 100, I mean, obviously you could have gotten cheaper, but if you take it from $100, you're up 45%. So even the PC ETBs have lagged the Chilling Reign booster box. If we go look at another one, Evolving Skies, as crazy expensive as these are, right? They're $200, but that's 300%. They're right at the booster box. So either way, in my mind, I'd still rather be in the booster box because the booster box is going to be more liquid. It's going to be open to a higher amount of audience. Booster boxes are kind of universal. Everyone knows to go for that product. The PC ETBs, they can be a little harder to find buyers for. Now, they're becoming more popular. More people are learning about them. But if it's the same amount of gains, I'd still probably rather go with the booster box. Now, you could argue they're going to be more scarce and sought after more in the future. That's yet to be seen. But Evolving Skies is one of those sets where the PC ETBs both, they actually did keep up with the booster box, so not bad. If we look at Fusion Strike, it's at $73, around $52, $53 with tax to $73. You're looking at about 40%. Well, right here, the Fusion Strike booster box, it's over 40%. It's right there with it. If you look at Brilliant Stars, this one, I don't know what they did with Brilliant Stars. They way overprinted it. It's available forever on Pokemon Center, but no movement at all. Brilliant Stars up almost 50%. I'm taking the booster boxes at $100. Obviously, you could probably get them less, but I'm just taking it at $100 for a nice benchmark. Astral Radiance, you're up about 20% on the booster box, and the PC ETB, you're up maybe 10%. Okay. Go to Lost Origin, you're up 50%. The PC ETB, you're up maybe 40, maybe not quite 40%. And then you look at Silver Tempest, you're up 46%. And then the PC ETB, you're up a little around 40, a little less, around 40. And then we get into Scarlet and Violet. This is where things change up. So now Pokemon's putting in these Pokemon Center exclusive promos, and they've actually got their print runs down to make these an actually exclusive product. They're not available for, a ton of time after the set's released. They're actually exclusive, and basically everyone except the Meridian artwork, the Corridon artwork, for some reason, it's not sold out yet on the PokemonCenter.com, but the Meridian artwork is, the new Paldea Evolve one is, even the Obsidian Flame is already sold out on Pokemon Center. Not only that, look at these prices, okay? We've already talked about how Scarlet Violet, Paldea, the box prices are lackluster. You can pick up these cases now for $600 or less a case. Really great for anyone who wants to invest long term, but real lackluster out of the gate. However, the PC ETBs are a whole different animal than what Sword and Shield was. This is actually a product you want to pick up right out of the gate. As soon as they're released, snag it. Because here's the first thing. They're absolutely going crazy out of the gate. Even though they're $60 now. I mean, look, $60. This is one thing I don't understand. These are actually selling for $80 on TCG Player. You can still buy them for $60 on the Pokemon Center. I'll never understand consumer habits, but consumers find a place they like to buy, whether it be eBay, TCG Player, Amazon, Pokemon Center, and they exclusively buy from them. Don't know why, but you can take advantage of that. But the main focus is it's going for $80. So $60 to $80, you're up 30-something%. This is going for $95. So if you take into account $60 to $95, what is that? 30, 40, 50, over 50%, over a 50% gain. This set just got released this year. So 50% gain in a matter of months. Absolutely crazy. Here's the reason right here. Look at this. This is the set. The best card's still the Marion, but look at this. The second best card in the entire set in terms of value is the promo you get inside of the Pokemon exclusive box. It's going for in the third. Market price is 40. I'm going to click on it and see exactly what it's going for. So this card is selling near mint condition in the high 40s now. It's selling for 48, 46. The lowest one listed, it looks like they're listed in the low 40s from 0% feedback sellers, and then the mid 40s from established stores. So you're looking at in the 40s. This is a $40 card when the actual set only has one $40 card, and then they go down in the 30s and 20s. That's ridiculous from a card you get free in an ETB. Now, the same story goes when you go to Paldea Evolve. Paldea Evolve booster boxes, look at this. Buy a whole case for $600. This is actually high for a box. You can find the boxes around $100. Now, it's got a few more expensive cards because it's so new. Obviously, you have the Iono. You have the Magikarp. You even have the other Iono. And then you have like the Chimpao, the Tyranitar. But look at this. The promo is already going for $30, $31. This is the promo. This Pokemon Center exclusive promo. It's going for $31. So if we go back to the set, it's actually like the... Let me check it out. It is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 6th. It's fighting for the 6th most expensive card in all the set, meaning more than the special illustration rares, more than the illustration rares, more than the gold cards. It's the 6th most expensive card in all the set already. And the ETBs are sold out in the Pokemon Center. Not only that, they're already going for, it says 76, but it's after 10 shipping. They're actually selling in the high 80s. You cannot go and buy these for less than almost $90. We are almost 50% up from the retail price, and the set just got released. It was just released weekend. It's a brand new set, and it's already 50% up. And the card's already the third or the 6th most expensive card in the set. This is a complete change up. We have not seen anything like this. This could be the new product to invest in. Like booster boxes are going to have to take a back seat to the PC ETBs now in the Scarlet Violet era. I know a lot of people like them from the Sword and Shield era, and they're a good play. They're not a bad play. It's just the booster boxes are still more liquid. Booster boxes are still, very, I don't feel so subtly outpacing them. We don't know how it's going to continue to age, but it's nothing like Scarlet and Violet. So this is a completely new thing. And then when you talk about Obsidian Flames, here's PokemonCenter.com. Paldea Evolve just got released. This just got announced. Already sold out. You can't even buy them. You can't even buy them. Not only that, look at this. This is how bad people want them. $110 confirmed pre-sales on eBay. So these are people who already put in their order on Pokemon Center. They locked it in, and they're flipping their pre-order. So they're going to have to get it shipped to them and then ship it out. It's like a drop shipping thing. $110. So people are already paying almost 100% more than retail for these PC ETBs for that promo card. Absolutely, just it's something like we've never seen before. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out if Pokemon is going to reprint them or up the stocks. Because I think one of the reasons, I know everyone's saying, yeah, it's because they have the stamp promos. That's not the only reason. There's been stamp promos forever. We've had stamp promos in pre-release kits and build and battle kits. We've had stamp promos for tournaments or events, or there's always been stamp promos. I mean, go back to WotC, right? You have like the Wizards of the Coast W stamp promo. You have, I mean, I'm not going to list them all. You have tons of stamp promo cards. That's not the thing. What it is they're actually scarce. They're actually printing these things at an amount to make it a collector's item. Just like I talked about with the Brilliant Stars one. Like a lot of these PC ETBs sat on Pokemon Center for a long time after the sets were already released. And they sat there and sat there and sat there. With these, there's such a limited amount available. They're selling out so quickly. And so I think that one of the reasons is the supply's lower, two, the stamp promos, and I don't know what really to take of it. It's going to be interesting to see. The other thing we wanted to talk about is obviously 151. We got to talk about 151. It's absolutely crazy. I got the set list here. Guys, don't FOMO into this. You know, if you're wanting to open it, if you just really want to get your hands on someone, open it. I did leave a link to PokeNE's website. I don't know if they're back in stock yet. I think he made a TikTok saying that he's going to put more in stock, but you can buy from him. You can find them on eBay. I think they're like $140 a box. Look, don't FOMO in and start paying $150, $200, $200 plus a box. They are going to come down. If they're print to demand, they are going to come down. I'm not trying to say it's not going to be the most amazing set and it's not going to be incredible, but it's not going to be one of these things where, I mean, people are FOMOing right now. And I get it. There's going to be crazy sales in the market, I'm sure. I'm sure there's going to be rush grading, and you're going to see these crazy sales, and people are going to post it to TikTok and Instagram and all the, Discords, and everyone's going to ooh and ah over it and say, oh my gosh, Pokemon's in a bubble. It's not a bubble. It's just hype-driven, immediate when the set's released, things go to the moon and they drop. But I did want to look through the set and kind of get an idea. Let me check on the chat real quick so everyone's saying in here so I can keep up. Oh, geez. You guys are going crazy. Who's all in here? All right, we got PSA Pikachu. What's up? MJ McGugan, $151 box. Nick Moda, just want to say I can't wait this. I can't watch this now because I'm at work, but I'll be tuning in at the upload. Keep up the good work. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. I get it. You got to work. 151 will have a massive print. Sus. Yeah, Lossy, I agree with that. Leaf Green Goblin agrees. People in Discords are already FOMOing. I know. It's already set in. It's just trying to feed into the Japanese bubble that it's in. I mean, and when I say bubble, I don't mean Pokemon's in a bubble, but when we see modern cards selling in tens of thousands, those are going to come down. So anyone buying those, sorry. Justin Derry, what's up, man? Catch 'em all collectibles. The man himself is in here. What's up, Dan? Mr. Walworth. Chilling Rain was a dud, though. It was printed with 8 packs instead of 10. Yeah, I mean, I get the Chilling Rain was a dud, but the other ones were printed correctly, and they're just not. They're not like exploding past booster boxes the way we're seeing in Scarlet and Violet. It's kind of what I'm saying. What else did Losty? Fusion Strike is the best PC ETB. Okay. Let's see, Justin. What do we got going on here? Leaf Green Goblin. I'm sure not about a lot. I think a lot of people want the starter alt arts past the SV alt arts. It's possible. Gengar, what's up, my dude? E-Unit, what's up? Thanks everyone for stopping by in this midday live. I know I don't have these very often, so I didn't know how it would go, but I wanted to throw something out. Like I said, I was gonna make a video, but I didn't really know how to put all these points together and make it a cohesive, shorter form video. I thought a live would be a better option. And then just any Q&As. I know I've had a lot of guests recently and haven't had a ton of time for Q&As. I know I've missed a lot of questions, so I definitely did want to take some Q&As later from you guys for any questions you had. Let's see. Eric Shun the Enforcer. Remember when Pokemon was about collecting, not people are about streaming to invest to resell? Hey man, it's still about collecting. It's not all dollars and cents. What do you guys think about Obsidian Flames? Obsidian Flames is gonna be amazing. Nico Nee. Would you still get the PC exclusive ETBs if you lived in the EU? We don't have a Pokemon Center, so we can only import them. Big shipping and import tax. That's a great question. You know, I guess it's all relative. Nico, I would say is if the sales make sense over there. So if it costs so much more to import and get over there, that would probably tell me that the market's probably a little higher, right? You can probably sell them a little higher in your own country because it's just as hard for everyone else to get them. So that, you know, it seems like they would be willing to pay a higher dollar amount for a resale. But if not, then yeah, I couldn't tell you on that. You know, I don't know what the future of these is going to be. I don't know if this hype's going to continue forever. I don't know if the scarcity is going to propel these things into just exponential gains. I just don't know yet. You know, this is new. This is a brand new market basically for these things right now. Retrospecs in the chat. What is going on, man? Kyle Crockerell. I guess Paldea Evolved is shorter printed as well. Not sure if that's true. It seems like the PC ETBs are. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm trying to check if anyone had any questions. Let's see. All right, I'm just gonna skip to the bottom here. All right, guys. So I want to talk about 151. So look, I'm all for like I'm all for getting the hype up. You know, loving all these cards and enjoying the collecting. But someone's got to be honest. All right, someone's got to bring the put a little damper on the parade. Let's talk about some of these cards, right? Okay, it's all the 151 Pokemon. It's already gonna be awesome. But all right, we got a Venusaur EX, a Charizard EX, and a Blastoise EX. They're just regular looking EX cards, right? Just like something you'd see back in Generations. All right. Nothing crazy special. All right. But they're cool. They're cool, but nothing crazy. All right. Let's keep going. An Arbok EX. I don't get it, right? It doesn't really make a ton of sense. I don't know too many Arbok collectors out there. It seems like it'd make more sense to have like a Raichu or even like a Butterfree, or I mean, I don't know. Arbok EX. There you have it. Keep scrolling down. Ninetales EX. All right, Ninetales is cool. Again, regular EX card. You know, pretty average. You know what else we got? I mean, it would have been cool to see like a Golduck EX or Arcanine. But we got Alakazam, which that's cool. Got Kadabra back in the set. Awesome to see. So that's really awesome. What else we got? All right, we got a Golem EX. I mean, if you go back to Generations again, there was a Golem EX in it. It wasn't the greatest. Hasn't done the greatest over time. You know, it's just kind of a strange Pokemon to EX, but okay. You know, they threw a regular Gengar. I think that would have been a better EX in my opinion. But what else we got? What else we got in here? We got, just a regular Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. Just kept those regular. And they gave us a Kangaskhan EX. All right, Kangaskhan. Cool Pokemon. All right, what else we got? We got a Jinx EX. That should be all right. Jinx. You know, they didn't give any love to the evolutions. They're just going to be regulars. And this kind of struck me as weird too. We got Articuno and Moltres, but then a Zapdos EX. I don't know. Seems kind of strange. Then we got Mew. Some of these, they don't have the pictures up quite yet on Pokelector. One of the big things I'm kind of upset about is they threw Erica and Giovanni and Bill, but like I was hoping to see the trainers. I was hoping to see Brock and Misty. I was hoping to see, Sabrina and Blaine and Koga and Lieutenant Surge and all the gym leaders. And I was hoping to see that, but whatever, it is what it is. Now we get to the actual, the illustrator arts and all that. Yeah, all the starter arts, they're awesome. We can't say anything bad about those. They did great on those. Awesome Pikachu. I love the Nidoking. Nidoking's a favorite Pokemon of mine. Great artwork there. Got Psyduck. I think that's a cool Pokemon to throw in there. Everyone loves Psyduck. The Poliwhirl, awesome art. Don't get Poliwhirl, but I mean, Poliwrath's like one of the worst ones to pull in base set. But I mean, I guess throw Poliwhirl in there. Tangela makes no sense at all. I don't know if there's any Tangelas out there. Not sure. Mr. Mime, I get it. All right, throw Mr. Mime. Omanite. Why? Why Omanite? Always got to throw a Sleeping Snorlax. That's always going to get love. Erica, all right. We got ourselves a waifu. And then we got Giovanni. Retro's got to love that. Got the starters. One of the best Zapdos arts I've ever seen. And then this awesome Mew. So, I mean, all in all, obviously, great set. I mean, I think there's definitely some things that Pokemon does that really don't make a lot of sense, at least to me. But overall, not an extremely crazy large set. The pull rates, I'm hoping, are pretty good for it because it doesn't seem like there's too much to try to fight against. So you should be able to pull the cards you want pretty easily from what I see. No idea. I don't know what I just did there. no idea how it's going to age in the long term. Let me go ahead and take this off. Yeah, no idea how it's going to age in the long term, but yeah, I'm liking what I see so far. As far as like the pricing goes, look, I get if you want to open the set, if you want to, kind of be involved, have fun. I wouldn't be like putting large amounts of this out of the gate. Now, look, it's different than like Scarlet and Violet and Paldea, right? If you can get boxes for under $100 or like what distributors are paying for it, like $95, $96, $97 a box. I mean, that can make sense, right? Because yeah, you're going to sit on it for a while, but you know that it's probably not going to go much lower, most likely. And you're at least getting in at the ground floor, even though it's going to be dead money. So, but getting in something like this, there's probably going to be massive price drops with more printing. And so that's why I don't know if I would jump into this right out of the gate. What are you guys thinking about this? Let me jump in here and see what everyone's saying. Let's see. Retro. Let's see. Collecting money and a little DBZ while Dan's not looking. DBZ. Dragon Ball Super set's getting released. New one. I don't know if anyone still follows Dragon Ball Super. Is that a thing? Is that a thing anymore? Is that done? Waller's hot take. Collectors are the problem in the hobby. Oh my gosh. Collectors are the problem now. Now the investors are the good guys. I've lived to see it all now. Lived to see everything. Let's see. Pokemon is no longer niche. I would say your name, but no idea how to say that. So I'm just going to say Pokemon is no longer niche. I'd rather buy Lego now. Okay. I mean, there's two schools of thought on that, right? Like the riches are in the niches, but when it comes like to liquidating your collection and actually like selling, you kind of want the market to be a little bigger. You want there to be more eyes on it. You want to be able to get out of it as easy as you got in. So it's not the worst thing in the world that Pokemon's no longer niche. There's still niches in it. It's not like everyone in the Pokemon hobby, right? It's not like when you look at like PokeRev's channel and there's 1 million people watching. All those 1 million people don't really know all the ins and outs of Pokemon. They know the hot, flashy stuff that Pokemon's dumping their marketing dollars into. So there's still niches, but yeah, I mean, Lego, you can definitely go into that. Here's my opinion on everything. I know like there's, people that are bearish on Pokemon, and you have like people like Reserved Investments who's just negative on all this pop culture collectible stuff. And look, here's the thing. This generation is going to change things because I've used this argument before, but it's the truth. I'm sure everyone remembers growing up. Most everyone's parents did not buy themselves collectibles. Most people's parents, like, yeah, maybe they bought you sports cards or bought Pokemon cards and did some stuff with you, but they didn't put like their actual money to invest in this stuff, right? They worked their jobs, they invested in their 401ks, they updated their house. Most people did not invest in any type of collectibles. And then once you got up in the money, when people started making big money and they had the millionaires and billionaires, what did they buy? They bought the stuff that generation was into. They liked the art, the high-end art. Guess what? If I would never pay thousands of dollars for a Picasso. Just don't care. Don't care. Would I pay maybe a few hundred, maybe 1,000 just to have a cool artwork on my wall? Yeah. I mean, I paid for artwork, but I wouldn't pay tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for high-end art. But people, I mean, and I think a lot of people feel that way, but guess what? Our generation would pay that for Pokemon. I wouldn't pay all this money to have all these vintage, wines, this giant wine cellar worth millions of dollars, but that's what that generation did. Our generation, they're probably going to buy stuff like this and video games or Legos, stuff that they connect to, that draws them to their childhood. When we get that big money, those millions and billions of dollars, and the people of our generation that are successful, this is what they're going to come back to because this is what you're interested in. I mean, you've already heard it. You hear celebrities saying it all the time. Like Post Malone was on Howard Stern talking about how he bought an $800,000 Black Lotus. Like, this is what our generation likes. When this generation gets money, this is what they're going to do with it. They're not going to use it in the way our parents did. And that's the big disconnect. Everyone thinks it's like a bubble, but no, it's just more and more of our generation is starting to get further in their careers. They're getting disposable income. They're getting their lives in place. And now they're spending their money on those types of purchases. And they're not the purchases of the past. Like, even like classic cars, there's a huge car community out there, but it's getting less and less. And there's less people our age that are going to spend money on a classic car. They're buying collectibles, right? They're buying video games. They're buying the things that they cherish in their lives, even if it doesn't make sense to the older generation. So that's kind of my spiel on that. I know I've said that before, but I just think that's a huge bullish factor that people are overlooking about, this day and age. What else we got going on? Flip to flip, retrospects. What should I send to Charizard Celebrations to cover 2016 Worlds PSA? What? Oh, man. I love the banter back and forth in the chats. It's always fun. All right, let's see this one. Scott V84. I ordered my 151 box to order today from PC Japan. All in, it's looking like $55 from Japan to Scotland. Bargain. All thanks to Dan's video on how to set up a Tenso account. Thanks, Dan. There you go. I mean, yeah, if you want to wait, I mean, I know you'll probably be waiting quite a long time, like maybe like August, September to get those. But yeah, I mean, that's the best way to do it. You know, don't FOMO into the $140, $180 boxes that people are paying. Certainly don't FOMO into like paying $300 to have a box open and sent to you and all that craziness. Yeah, that's the way to go, Scott. Good job. What else we got going on? Mr. Walrus still going at the collectors. Bro, collectors complain, but they're the only ones buying. It is a really funny dichotomy in this hobby, isn't it? How it's like it's always the collectors versus the investors versus the flippers. Like, why can't we all just get along? I mean, I'm an investor. I am an admitted investor. I buy certain items for the sole purpose of watching them grow in value. I'm also a collector, right? I buy slabs. I'll buy binder sets. I buy things to collect. And then, yeah, if I see, obvious, like, arbitrage to be had, like I can buy from one site and sell on another. I can make flips, and I'm a flipper. So it's like, I think a lot of people do everything. I don't know why there's a hatred between like each different segment of the community. I think we're all everything at some point. I mean, I think everyone buys and sells to build their collection. I think everyone has things, even Dan, even Catch 'em All out there, even if he doesn't want to admit it, I think he even has stuff where he holds on to longer. Maybe he doesn't like to say he invests, but there are things that he holds on to longer because he wants to see the value rise before he sells it. But so I think all of us do that. And I think all of us take advantage of flips. I mean, if there's obvious flips out there and you can, buy cards, grade them and make a profit, or buy items on one site and sell on another and make a profit, I think we all do that. So I just think we all need to come together a little more. I get flipper mania during like the boom when people were buying out, targets, and they were, pushing little kids down and trampling over them. That's probably too far. I don't know if that happened, but that's how I imagined it. I imagined it like a Black Friday back in the day when people are getting trampled to death over Pokemon. So, but yeah, I just think it needs to kind of come back to some more middle ground. What else do we got going on in chat? Does anyone got any questions? This is supposed to be a Q&A too. So any questions you want me to answer, get them out now. Anyone who usually leaves like comments in the comment section, I always try to respond to those, but this is a way to just answer it live. So that way, you don't have to wait till later. What else is going on? A lot of talk about 151. Obviously, I expected no less. Your average player. Thank you for entertaining me on my way home from my cabin. That sounds like a good time. That sounds like a nice, relaxing getaway. No idea where your cabin is or what you were doing, but that sounds like a good time. Going and hanging out in a cabin for a little while. Just turning off social media for a few days sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's see. We got CJ Anderson. With public sentiment, 151 is a grand slam. What's going to be the trickiest for most is getting the best entry price. Absolutely. 100% agree. Unless you're, if you're doing like what, who was it? Let me go back up. Was it Scott? Yeah, Scott V. If you're doing what he's doing, just setting a proxy address and, just ordering, waiting for it. I mean, that's probably gonna be your best bet, or just waiting until the market comes down. But yeah, like right now, unless you're wanting to open the set, just have a good time, I'd wait. I would definitely wait. I don't use the guarantee word a lot, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to guarantee it. I guarantee we'll see lower prices than $140 a box on 151. I'm just going to say it right there. What else we got going on? Retro's getting the Lego conversation. You got to sit on Lego for at least a year to see any sort of gains or break product down with desirable minifigures, but that's a super grind. Definitely not going to see the kinds of gains you will see in Pokemon. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of like Pokemon, back before like it did get all the popularity. It was a lot longer term, a lot longer gains. Now it's going to be a lot faster. So yeah, I agree. I mean, there's goods and bads of both. Like, you know, if Lego ends up becoming like a lot bigger than it is now, you might see those gigantic gains like we did in Pokemon if it really blows up. But again, just it's speculation. You're speculating. Pokemon's a guarantee right now. What do we got going on? Okay, some crazy stuff in the chat today, guys. Man, I didn't realize this many people. We got 118 people in here. I didn't know it'd be like that during the day. All right. Does anyone work anymore? All right. This is cool. Jonathan Biggs, I finally made a live. Starting from the beginning, Alex, so don't let me down. Exciting to find the Easter eggs in the live stream. Thanks for the video. Yeah, man, I hope you enjoy it. I guess this is the time to do it in the daytime. This one seems to be most people are on, I guess. I didn't realize that. I just can't justify gambling on singles. And Lego is more fun. My Poke Stack is stacked. It's more expensive than it used to be. Gambling on singles. I mean, yes, yeah, I guess I mean, if you're playing like the race to the bottom, like buying the brand new sets and trying to like grade those real quick, yeah, I guess it's more gambling. But if you're sourcing correctly on sets that have already aged and kind of went through that crazy, you know, up and down and leveled out, it's not as much as a gamble if you know what you're doing, but it definitely does take more expertise, more knowledge, you know, deeper dive, spending more time with it. But yeah, I don't know if it's as much of a gamble as singles. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, Dan's thanking Scott. That video's been pumping lately. Hey, go check it out. Catch 'em All Collectibles is telling everyone how to buy Japanese product. Dan, if you want to throw your link in the chat, I'll share it for you, man, to the video. What else we got? How many Celebrations UPCs do you have left? Not a whole lot, actually. I do not have many left. 7? I think I have 7 left. I opened one to have the metal cards. I only have 7 UPCs left, believe it or not. I've actually been considering selling a few more. I don't know. This I'm kind of waiting to see what happens now that they're grading those metal cards again to see if it does kind of give it a new resurgence. But you know, like I talk about, once things hit a certain price point, it almost makes sense to take the money out and put it in things that are going to grow faster. Like, you know, Celebrations right now, $400 UPC. Well, what's going to happen faster? $400 to $800, or something I can buy like a PC ETB or a new set? Are those going to double in price faster? That's what you have to ask yourself. And a lot of times, probably. But I'll probably always keep a few. I'm probably always going to keep at least a case just for long term. They're already, I don't think they're quite paid for. I have to check my spreadsheet. They're probably not quite paid for yet. But once I sell the last 3, they'll be the last case will be free, and I'll just put that in my long-term investment, you know, risk-free. So that's kind of where I'm at on the Celebrations UPCs. Let's see. Pokemon Dentist, when is the best time to buy new releases for investing? Oh, man, that's impossible. That is so impossible because you never know when or if reprints are coming. For me, I'm always good at buying because I don't really mind sitting on things for a while. So I don't mind buying anything near distributor pricing. Distributor pricing, what stores are buying these boxes for now are $95, $96. That's what stores and people with distribution are paying. If you can get anything near $95 a booster box, that's a great price because now you're on the same playing field as all the stores. I mean, there might be stores that dump product just to free up inventory to, you know, be able to, you know, buy the next set or use other places. So stores can actually take losses and it makes sense for them sometimes. But usually it doesn't stay there that long. Like we saw it with Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, Battle Styles. They dropped down in the 80s. They didn't stay there that long. We've seen it in the past with other sets. So I'm comfortable getting in anywhere near distribution pricing. So like with my Paldeas, I got in at $96 or $97 a box. With my Scarlet Violet base, I got in under distribution pricing on a Facebook group. My Charizard UPCs I just bought, I got in around distribution pricing. So I'm cool with that. Could it go lower? Always. There could always be stores wanting to blow out inventory. There could always be panic and mass selling, but I'm always comfortable around that. So I'd say anywhere $95 to $99, even $100 a box. It's not a bad place to be in if you're looking for long term. All right, Nico Nee. I think Marty from Sword and Shield base is way undervalued. It's the most expensive card, like $50, $60 bucks, yet booster box price is $300. Yeah. Also, I love that Snorlax from that set. I've been thinking about that card. Not even the rainbow rare, the regular Snorlax VMAX. It's a beautiful card. The one he's like the whole world on his belly. It's an awesome card, and those things are still going really cheap near mint, really cheap PSA 10. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, obviously, as sets age, the pools inside the cards don't keep up with it. But I agree. Like, some of those cards do seem like they should at least see some type of bump. I just think there's so much going on right now. I think it's probably going to unfortunately take a lackluster set in Pokemon, like another one, like after 151 Obsidian Flames, after this Magic the Gathering craze with the Lord of the Rings, after even Yu-Gi-Oh with all the reprint sets coming out. Like, I think maybe later this year, if things calm down and people have like other things they're looking to place their money, I just think everyone's attention is on this right now. It's on Obsidian Flames, it's on 151, it's on Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings, it's on a lot of different things right now. And so I think until things calm down and kind of go back normal, and then the Japanese product going through the moons, once things get a little more normalized, that's when people start going back and looking for those types of plays back in the older sets. So, but yeah, definitely could be one of the plays that makes it. What else do we got? What do we got going on? Crazy Vegan, any thoughts on that plastic Iono figure for $330? No idea what you're talking about. What's going on? A figurine is selling for $330? I'm out of the loop on that one. Crazy Vegan, you're going to have to let me know. I'm out of the loop on that. Justin Durr, I'm a long-term investor and collector. I'm not worried about making my main income with Pokemon, although it works for people like Dan. I would say 99% of the people in this hobby are not making Pokemon their main income. I think what a lot of us are trying to do is have our collection and investment grow over time while still being able to own things we like. So yeah, I agree. It doesn't need to be your main income, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know what anyone says out there about not caring about the money, but I think for anyone, even if you're just a collector, if you buy something and then a week later it's like half the price, I think that's going to get to anyone. So I think everyone's somewhat worried about the money, even if you're just a collector to a certain extent. But yeah, I get you, Justin. I mean, it's definitely not a game to make full time for everyone. I will agree with you there. Jacob, when is the wave of Lost Origin booster boxes expected to hit the market, and where do you expect the price to bottom? Yeah, I don't know. Like, where are they, right? I mean, where's everything? I'm starting to think everything is just, is everything a rumor? I mean, I know it's not. I know the Lost Origin is actually coming, but are people just trying to to drop the market on things? There's always rumors of all these reprints, Evolving Skies and Brilliant Stars, and everything's going to get reprinted, and nothing ever does. Nothing ever comes. And yeah, I have no idea. Lost Origin, even with all the reprint news coming, it's still sitting at $150 a box. $150 a box. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on what the actual distributor sell at the stores at. I know Eli from Pokemart was saying it was going to be like $120. So I don't know if other distributors are going to, I don't know if distributors are going to start undercutting other distributors, racing more to the bottom, or if they're all going to kind of stand united at like a new MSRP or a higher price. I don't know how that's going to work. If in my mind, I don't see it dropping under $100. I would say in the low hundreds, if anything, anywhere from maybe like 105 to 120 would be my guess of where it would reach. That's where I would look for it to hit before I wanted to jump in if I wanted to buy more Lost Origin boxes. And honestly, if it does get that low, I will buy more. I will buy more for my personal investment, just because at 105 a box, that's basically close to where I got in before. So it really wouldn't hurt my dollar cost average on it. So yeah, that's what I would look for if the reprint does come and if distributors don't hold true to that 120 pricing. Dan's in the chat, catch them all. He'd probably be able to tell you. He can share in the chat. He'll be able to tell you more. I mean, he's got distribution. He'd probably tell you what he's getting boxes at if they come. What do we get? Yeah, Dan Invest. He told me. I like it. Let's see. You see the Magic card doubled in price in Paldea? Yeah, all the cards are crazy, right? You got the Iono, you get the Magic card, everything. It's getting, I hesitate to say bought out, right? But they're definitely getting, I don't know what to think about it. I don't know what to think about it. Is it because enough product hasn't hit the market yet? We're still in that pre-release phase. Is it because the people are just trying to buy a ton of copies and then send them to grade and try to play the grading game. I really don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you at this point. But yeah, I did see the Magikarp jump up. I think it's still sitting in the high 80s right now, which is absolutely crazy. Then Iono's dropped. I'm looking at it right now. She's at mid 130s. So roller coaster ride as it always is at release. You gotta love it. That is modern Pokemon for you. It's never gonna change. I don't get it. It's like insane. It's the definition of insanity every single time. Set comes out, everything skyrockets at pre-release, and then it drops, and then there's buyouts, and then it drops again, and it's always mass chaos. So yeah, if you're looking to like collect them, just wait. You'll be able to buy the whole complete master set of these for a lot cheaper than all these costs right now. There's always people that complete the sets and then for some reason want to sell them. Don't know why, but you'll be able to find them. They'll throw them at 7-day auctions, and you'll be able to get the whole set for cheaper than all these cards cost right now. Mark my words on that one. What do we got going on? Vince, man, that is not my forte. Do you think the Heart Gold Soul Silver era is due for a pop? Those middle eras, man, that's not me. There's a lot better channels that can tell you a lot more about those. I just don't follow them too closely. And for me, this is going to be controversial. I don't believe in them. I don't believe in the mid era. I believe in like WotC all the way up to like these, I guess Neo, maybe even into Legendary Skyridge, Quaplus era. And then I believe from like XY on, it can spill some into black and white. I just think a lot of those middle eras, you're going to have the super rare chase cards, right? You're going to have the chase cards that are always going to do well because they're so scarce and they're sought after. As far as like the lesser cards, right? Like kind of like the second hit, like the second tier hits. I just don't know if there's going to be enough popularity to drive enough eyes back to all that, because there's so much other to collect. Like every year we have new sets, better artwork, now you have to go back to Sword and Shields of old era, then Sun and Moon, and then you have to go back to XY, and then people want to go back to the very first, first edition base and Jungle and Fossil. And there's just so much that I just don't know if there's enough popularity, enough people really even know or care to know about those mid eras to drive enough traffic back there to move them. But obviously, like all the major hits and the low pops, those are going to do well. But like the secondary hits, I don't know. I'm not a believer in it. But I've been wrong before, so don't take what I'm saying and think like, oh, I got to dump my position, or I'm not going to do that. Don't take mine. Go to a channel that is more versed in that and has better things to say about it. That's all I'm going to say there. Let's see. Julian M, is 151 in English going to be a special set like Crown Zenith without boosters? Yeah, I would guess. That's a good question. I don't know yet. I would guess. I would 100% think so because Obsidian Flames is getting released. So that would be my guess. I think it's going to be a specially released set. Pretty sure about that. Pretty sure. Alex, what do you think about Japanese XY full arts? Say no more. You don't need to talk to me about XY. I think XY is going to do great. Japanese, again, I'm not super versed on the Japanese market. I actually do look at pop reports. I actually do base, some of the plays I make on pop reports. I have no idea what the Japanese pop reports look like and if they are as scarce as the English ones are. If they're along the same lines, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. I mean, Japanese right now is going through the biggest boom. It's only normal that the people would make their way back to XY. Here's the thing, guys. If you go look at like the popularity of Pokemon, one of the biggest spikes, other than the right now and like the whole, pandemic, Logan Paul, everything went to the moon. Other than that and now, 2016, right? When Pokemon Go, the game, like the actual, phone game, when that came out, that was like the second biggest spike in Pokemon popularity. And that was right in the middle of Pokemon XY. And so if that's an era where I just believe that's an era where people are going to go back to. I get they don't have this flashy of arts, but they do have a lot of cool arts. A lot of XY is based around Gen 1 Pokemon. A lot of the sets are, and a lot of the cards are very scarce. I'm talking 100 and sub 100 pop reports for some of the PSA 10s. And then 10s and 9s, like they're all like sub 1,000. Almost all of them are sub 1,000, sub 500 for most of them. Very low pops reports. There was a lot of popularity in Pokemon back then. It's when I got in. And so I see a lot of possibilities there. But again, I know I've been kind of blown up on that by other people in the hobby. They think I'm wrong on that. So maybe I am, but that's what I believe in it right now. Let's see. Do you think Evolving Skies bubble would pop? I don't think it's a bubble. What bubble? You know, I mean, it's already went stagnant. You know, it's not moving anymore. People are waiting for a reprint. It's reached that $400 box level. If you go back, so, okay. When I got into Pokemon, when I was like opening evolutions packs and everything was kind of stagnant in that 17, 18 area, kind of after the, you know, that popularity of Pokemon Go and evolutions, even sets like a Flash Fire, those were like 300, 350 a box. So like the best set in XY was 350 a box. And then you go look at Sun and Moon, like the best sets always do rise in price. So just because it's $400 a box, it doesn't mean it's a bubble, right? Look at the other sets. They're normal, like 140, 150, right? They've went up 40, 50% over 2-3 years. That's normal. I get that seems like a lot, like, oh, well, stock market returns are 10, 12%. But Pokemon is inherently a riskier play. It just is. Investing in collectibles is riskier. And so the more risk, the more reward you expect. Like investing in a single stock, right? You're looking for a higher gain than investing in a mutual fund. Same thing with Pokemon. So yeah, 20, 25% gains in a year, that's pretty normalized. So seeing these boxes at 140, 150 in a couple of years, that's normal. Sword and Shield, base and Rebel class, they're at like 200-300 over the course of what, three plus years. A little higher than average, but those were a little lower printed. So yeah, I mean, I don't see any bubble. I don't know why everyone's calling it a bubble. Japanese is in a bit of a bubble, like with the modern crazy graded card prices. But no, I don't think Evolving Skies or any Sword and Shield era sets are in a bubble. That's me. Don't like the bubble talk in that. I mean, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to like, you know, get you guys to think a certain way. I mean, you can all have your own thoughts. It's just my thoughts. I just don't see anything showing me a bubble. There's more and more popularity spilling into Pokemon. You know, you got China on board. Japan's blowing up. You have other countries throughout the world, more people getting into this. You have our generation getting older, right? 20s, 30s, now almost in the 40s. All of our money, right? Our disposable income, it's going into stuff like this, right? It's not going into, like I said, classic cars or expensive artwork or wine collections or, you know, some people are into watches, some are into shoes, but like a lot of people, there's a bigger majority into Pokemon in our generations. And so that's where the money's coming from. That's what's propelling these markets. It's not like mass hysteria or mania, in my opinion. Let's see. Leaf Green Goblin, how'd the break go? Did you like making that content? I got to tell you, I had a ton of fun. I'm going to do more. Loved it. Everyone in the chat had a great time. Everyone loved it. Great responses from it. Everyone who took part in the break. I mean, I got emails from multiple people, said they had a ton of fun. Other people said, hey, I wasn't able to get in on this one. They sold out. I'm going to get in on the next one. I love opening packs, so I enjoyed opening the packs. I had a great time. Obviously, some people, you know, didn't get the pulls they wanted. I made sure to throw in. I had extra pulls for my personal collection. I made sure everyone got something. So no matter what packs you got, if you didn't hit something, I made sure everyone was taken care of. Yeah, I thought it went great. If you want to get on the next one, I will be putting a poll out soon, so keep an eye on that to ask, you know, what people would like. I'm gonna give a bunch of different sets that I'm thinking about, and you guys tell me what you'd like to see the most, and we will definitely have those more in the future because it was great. It was a great time. The Pokemon breaking collecting community is definitely a lot more cheerful, if that makes sense. Like, I know a lot of you guys, we're all good, but like, man, you don't have like the like negativity or like the at each other's throats or, you know, really getting these heated debate. Like, you don't have all that stuff in the pack opening collecting community, right? Everyone's just having a good time. They're rooting for each other. When people don't get pulls, like they're upset for each other. Like they're all, it was great to see in the chat. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I had a great time doing that. Scalper TCG. Is 151 going to come out in booster boxes or ETBs, collection boxes only? Yeah, I think it's going to be a special release, like ETBs, PC ETBs. I'm not sure though. That's what I would guess. I'm pretty sure because Obsidian Flames is getting released around the same time, so I'm going to guess it's going to be a specially released set. Justin Dare, I'm investing my time into the stream, and it needs to be at least another hour. So I'm working right now. I need something to listen to. I'll do my best, Justin. I will do my best to keep the ball rolling. Let's see. Is Evolving 3RYK? Is Evolving Skies gonna stop climbing? I think so like I talked about before, Evolving Skies, people are worried about reprints. because they saw Lost Origin and they're thinking Evolving Skies to be one of them. 2, there's these weird glass ceilings in Pokemon. There's these weird like price ranges where people like stop buying for whatever reason, where it kind of consumers that like it's a spot where they're like, okay, it's too much, right? And I've talked about it before in other videos. It's like it usually ends up being in that $400 to $600 range. A lot of Sun and Moon boxes are right now just now breaking past that like glass ceiling of like $600 a box. But all those boxes except Team Up, they all sat in that $400 to $600 or less range for all these years until now, until tag teams started getting blown up and now everything's going up. But yeah, it's just weird. Consumers have this weird price block when boxes gets like $300-$400 up to like $500-$600. So I don't think there's anything like catastrophic going on. It's just it's reached that $400 point. People are a little, they don't want to put that much money in a box right now. I think as things age, as reprint rumors kind of subside, as Scarlet and Violet gets more and people realize, hey, if I want this box, it's going to cost $400. That's what'll cause prices to rise and supply to start running out again. But no, I don't see Evolving Skies not reaching 500 plus a box in the future. So that's what I think about that. Hank, what price do you think Evolving Skies booster boxes will hit if not reprinted? So if not reprinted, man, I would think like mid to high hundreds. I would think like $500 to $800 range. 1,000 in the future for sure. Like that's what I think. As long as Pokemon continues the same trajectory, right? We all the top sets in XY are over 1,000. All now we're seeing Team Up and some other sets get close to 1,000. Evolving Skies is a better set than all of those eras, XY, Sun and Moon, everything. And so for it not to get to 1,000 would kind of it'd be odd to me. Now, this is not me saying like it's a guarantee because anything could happen. Like Pokemon could, it could lose popularity. People could get kind of sick of it, kind of sick of the chase, sick of the rush, and it could kind of plateau and fade off a little, where we might see an era where box prices don't have crazy gains. I still think over long term they'll sell out eventually and rise, but I mean there is a scenario where it might not grow for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know, but if Pokemon continues any type of popularity like it does now, Evolving Skies is the must-have box of Sword and Shield. And if you look at any must-have boxes of any era, they all break 1,000. So that's my thought. Retro with the question. What's going on, man? Do you think that English will see the same sort of growing movement forward, given the current climate in Japanese having large international buyer base? Man, I don't know. I mean, I know you are probably in your glory right now because you're all in Japanese. I don't know. I mean, is Japanese just kind of going to be this this isolated event, and then when it kind of gets back down to a more normalized market, is it just going to kind of blend in with the English market and then these other like Korean and Chinese markets? I don't know. I really don't. I don't like to say that like another giant catalyst or surge is coming. Like I'm much more comfortable with steady growth. Like I'm much more comfortable like what we see now when booster boxes come out and you can get them, for $600 a case still. And then, you're not having these gigantic ups and downs. Like, oh, it's shot up to $150 a box and then it got reprinted, now restocked, and now people are panicking. I like the old style of investing where you buy it and then over a few years, it continuously grows in value, whether it's 10, 20, 30% a year, whatever we see. I'm happier with that, but yeah, I mean, it could happen. I'm not sure about that. I'm not smart enough. Way above my pay grade, man. You tell me, what do you think about it? Do you think Slam, do you think Japanese market going crazy will actually hurt the Pokemon TCG in the long run? No way. No way. So if you look at the boom, 2020, 2021, there were a lot of people that got hurt, right? A lot of people buying PSA 9 base set Charizards for $6,000 and $7,000. They got crushed, right? A lot of people buying into, the stuff I was selling, right? The vintage boxes, vintage packs, the vintage graded. Like a lot of people got crushed buying in at the top, but it didn't hurt the hobby, right? The hobby kept moving forward at more exponential pace than ever. And so I think what happens is the amount of people it brings in is far greater than the amount of people that actually get hurt to the point that they give up and are fed up and say, this was a get rich quick scheme. I knew this wouldn't work. Or people who just got in for the money. Like, I think that portion is so much smaller than the actual amount of people that are getting in. So no, I think the community is just going to be larger than ever. More countries keep coming in, and I don't see it. I see it being a net positive for the hobby. Nope, absolutely. What do we got? Scott Butt. What do you think about booster bundles for the long-term investments? No idea. Obviously they'll raise in price the same way like packs do, like, check lane blisters, 3-pack blisters, any type of like packs. But as far as like, I don't know if there's going to be that sealed premium like there is for booster boxes, if that makes sense, right? Like we see sealed premiums for certain items. I just don't know if they'll probably just kind of follow the trajectory of the set value. Because like even like pre-release kits, build and battle kits, those haven't seen like any type of movement, and a lot of those have like stamp promos in them and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's great because it's a lower price point than a booster box, so it gives more people the chance to invest in the set. But I just think booster boxes are going to remain king. Booster boxes are going to be the main thing to. Well, and now PC ETBs apparently. Booster boxes and PC ETBs. That's where I'm at. Hey, Ramrod TV. So, hey, Ramrod, he was involved in the pack break, so he could tell you how it went. He had a great time, I think. I have to go to work in like an hour. Not happy about it. Oh, sorry to hear, man. I'm glad to spend a little time here before work, though. Hope I can get your mood up a little higher before you go into the office. All right, Scott V. It's 7:30 here, so perfect for me. Yeah, so I had people from like Australia or UK and other parts of the world wanting me to do streams different times of the day so they could see them in live. And so that's another reason I came during the day. So awesome to hear other people are able to be here live. Good to hear. 7:30 p.m. in the UK. There we go, Losty. Exactly what I'm talking about. Average player, EU, perfect time, 8:30. See? Perfect. Maybe my audience is just overseas. Maybe no one in America likes me. That's what it is. I'll have to start doing daytime streams. I'll have to find guests that can come in daytime. Let's see. Pokemon Dentist finished in the OR early, so I'm glad I can catch the stream. I never get out early. Oh, man, that sounds like some serious business you're doing there, man. Glad to hear. I hope everything went well today in the OR. Let's see what we got going on. I'm cleaning my boss's grill while listening to this amazing banter. Glad you're here, the real gods, RJ. All right, what do we got going on? Gambling on packs or buying centered singles? I only collect promos now. You know what? Honestly, they're both fun, right? Gambling on packs is fun, but gambling on buying singles and sending them to PSA is always fun too. Getting the returns back and seeing, how lucky you were getting a grader that gave you 10s or 9s. Because both can be a fun gamble. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely still a Packo. I love opening packs. I don't as much anymore, but that's why I started those box breaks, because that way I get to, even if other people get hits and I'm not getting the hits, I like to see the card. I like to pull it from a pack. I like to see the condition it's in. I like other people getting happy. So I'm more on the pack breaking side. Oh, Dan, I never saw the link. Sorry, bro. I don't have any type of permissions or anything I cut out from my chat. Everything's welcome. I don't cut out anything, so I don't know why it wouldn't have came through, man. Sorry about that. We got guys, you all know Catch 'em All Collectibles. Just go to his channel. Dan, just leave the title. Leave the title of the video on how to buy Japanese product, and I can at least shout that out. They can just go to your channel and find it by title. Let's see. Austin Caps, don't sell those UPCs. Will be unreachable for a lot of people in 5 to 10 years. Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree. There could be other products that go from like $100 to $300. The same time, those go from $400 to $800. Is kind of like there's a lot of products right now that I see a better opportunity in than keeping so many UPCs. I'm always going to keep some. I'm always going to keep, like I said, that one case, like I do with a lot of products. I always like to keep one, like a certain amount, like a case or at least a few. So yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I still believe in it for the long term. Absolutely. it's kind of in that Evolving Skies territory. It reached that $400 kind of cap, and people kind of their wallets get a little tighter when you get to certain areas of price points. Whoa, Scott, 4 a.m. in Australia. I guess this wasn't the greatest time for my Australian audience. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So a little later in the afternoon for the Australian audience. Got it. I'm glad it worked out for the EU and UK though. Good to hear there. Let's see. 3RYK. Prediction on Crown Zenith shiny boxes. Love Crown Zenith. Evolving Sky, in my mind, is probably the second best set in the whole era. I love celebrations, like just because of like the significance of an anniversary set. Anniversary sets, in my mind, always do well. Anything with Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur like that, the old school arts do well. Those reprints always do well. So, but like overall set quality, I think it's right behind Evolving Skies. So like for me, I like it, Evolving Skies, and celebrations. So yeah, I love Crown Zenith. Let's see what we got going on. Dan is elevated to grabbing cash in other people's live streams. His Team Rocket tenure is secured. Love it. Alex, how did the metal cards come? Dings on the back. How did the metal cards come? What are you asking, Alex? I don't like, you talking about like the ones I opened from the celebrations? They look good. They'll probably won't get 10s. They'll probably get 9s. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like sometimes they have like some of the metal, like some of the card is like chipping away from the metal, and you can actually see like the shininess of the metal. I've seen that before. No, I got pretty lucky opening mine. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, like some dings, like some minor things. I in my mind, I think they're good enough to at least get 9s, but we'll see. Hey, he told me he's free real estate. Yeah, I invited it. Dan's welcome to steal from the chat and the live. No issues there, man. Dan's done a lot for me over the year, and so I've been on YouTube. So as far as like, coming on the channel, helping me out, anytime I message him, he's always there to help. So I'd do anything to help Dan out as well. Let's see. Scott, has anyone entered the lottery on PC Japan for the Yokohama deck with the Pika promo? The card is going to be a great investment if I win the lottery. I don't mess with the Japanese stuff, so couldn't help you there. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat could. Retro's in the chat. I don't know if Retro keeps up with the PC Japan stuff, but he's going to be a lot better to tell you on Japanese stuff than I am. Let's see. I'm bullish on Crown Zenith, Obsidian Flames 151. I agree. Who isn't, right? Who isn't? Jay, with a Lost Origin reprint coming, will there be a play on Gratina Alt Arts? Possibly. That's definitely a possibility. I mean, if the reprints come and they're large enough and there's tons of them getting opened, obviously that single will drop. But gosh, they're just so hard to hit. I mean, they're so hard to pull that a lot of boxes have to get open to raise those levels of supply on the market. And I think there's still a huge interest in it. And like I said, once cards drop to certain price points, it opens a whole nother pool of buyers. And then when they rise back to a higher price point, it kind of drops the pool of buyers. So even if they're plentiful at a low enough price point, they just get bought. That's just the way it works. Sun and Moon Base has waifus too. They do. Waifus have been around for a long time now. You can still find some very affordable ones out there too. What do we got going on? Gengar, I heard there will be a Team Rocket set with Tag Team Gold Stars. Can you confirm this? I cannot confirm that. I know Pokemon Center's website has a whole Team Rocket tab though. Like they have a whole tab for all Team Rocket, like merchandise or sleeves or plushies, all kind of different Team Rocket centered stuff now. It's a whole separate tab. So could be a precursor to the Team Rocket set. It's a possibility. Let's see. Awesome. Shout out to the Lord of the Rings craze. Even like the like other rings are now, like Rudy made that video about tens of thousands of dollars for the what was it, the dwarf ring or one of the other rings. Like it's not even the $1 million bounty 1-of-1 ring now. It's like that set's doing well. Magic Magic did something right promoting in the way they went about that. I mean, that's definitely getting people to buy. So yeah, congrats on that set. I mean, you gotta love it, right? You gotta love the modern day TCG card gamble, right? If that doesn't make you have fun, I don't know what will. Let's see. I mean, come on, you could be on Twitch, like, right, watching people like play slots or something. At least we got cards at the end of the day in our hands when we gamble. Let's see what we got. Yeah, only mods can see the link. There are no mods. There are no mods on the channel. Mr. Walrus is in line to get the first mod status, though. As soon as I figure out how to do that, I will. As soon as I take the time to figure out how to actually operate my own YouTube channel. Let's see. Oh, Leaf Green Goblin. Gengar. I can confirm that happened in dreams. I didn't know you were going. I thought you were actually confirming it. You got me. You got me, Goblin. Let's see. Serialized Pokemon cards would create another boom. Absolutely. I mean, I think it's like the logical end game scenario. I think we're eventually going to get to that at some point. I mean, I don't know. I can't, obviously don't know for sure, but it just seems like things are getting to that point with as hard as but I don't know. I don't know, because I think we've reached a point now where I could be wrong, but it seems like the hits in Paldea and Scarlet Violet are easier to hit than some of the alt arts in Sword and Shield. So it's almost like Pokemon's making it a little easier again. And so I don't know if Pokemon wants it to be that hard to pull cards. I don't know if they want to go the serialized route. So it's definitely a question that's going to be in a lot of people's minds going forward with all the other TCGs going to that. Jordan, I was able to pre-order the Pokemon Center ETB before they sold out, and they will probably come back in stock after release. That is awesome to hear. They could come back in stock. The Scarlet Violet base, the Meridon hasn't come back in stock. The Violet one. So I don't know. They could just be. If you're talking about Obsidian Flames, they might. But I still hold true. I think the print runs are a lot lower than they used to be since Chilling Reign. I think they're a lot. I mean, we're not going to see things like Brilliant Stars, PC ETBs being on there for 3-4 sets. I just don't think that's going to be the case going forward. Could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I secured 3 cases of Japanese OP1 One Piece. Yeah, I don't get into the Japanese side on One Piece either. And I'm not a One Piece fanatic either. Like, I don't know tons about it. I just knew that, hey, it's a new bright shiny thing. It's got a huge IP. It's got a huge popularity behind it. Might as well pick up a case of each, right? That was my whole thing on it. I don't pretend to be some knowledgeable investor in One Piece. I can't go and tell you all the cards or tell you which singles to invest in. So not the place for that. I'm not going to try to pretend to be something I am not. Let's see. It's just an investment, like a stock. Buy and forget it. Pretty much. That's how I treat this thing. Oh, here we go. I don't like them. I don't like the Nagaba cards. I think they're boring. I think this is one of those things that gets hyped for the sake of being hyped. I mean, I don't think anyone can look at some of these artworks in these sets and then look at those promos and say, oh yeah, I like those cards so much more. I know, hot take. I'm going to get a ton of hate from that, but I don't get it. I don't get the Nagaba stuff, but is it worth the investment? I am waiting for 30 of them to arrive from yeah. Look, if you guys like that stuff, if you think it's going to, do well, get it. Like, I'm not here to like rain on anyone's parade. I'm just not about that stuff. Like, I don't get it. If I don't get it, I don't invest in it, right? Like, if you don't understand something, don't invest in it. That's where I am. I don't understand the craze. Like, I get it. It's from a famous artist and all this stuff. And it's just, if I look at the card and I don't find any type of redeeming qualities in it, I can't invest in the product. That's just me. Retro, my main income is 0. I need to fire Jesse and James. Hey man, just steal from the rich and give to the poor. All right, it's a killer's tax strategy though, Retro. That's what Mr. Walrus says. Let's see, what else do we got in the chat? Do you guys have any questions? Any questions for me? Wow, I guess I got a lot farther to go. Never mind. Let me try to get caught up. I think it's a matter of time. Collect Pokemon says, I think it's a matter of time before someone in the West copies what the Japanese is doing with the gambling raffle. They need one person to look trustworthy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's a place for it. I mean, guys, let's be honest. Like, this is gambling. If you're opening packs, if you're trying to like grade cards, you're gambling on getting higher value in your items. Like, it is what it is. Like, no one's. It's not like a secret. So it's just another level to that, right? It's just more levels on top of levels, gambling on top of gambling. It's kind of like at the casino. Like, there's always the main bet, the side bet, the sucker bet. There's all these different bets going on the same hand. But it's just part of it, right? It's the world we live in. We already have that collect Pokemon. It's called Whatnot. Yeah, Whatnot is the gambling of the US. That's where you go. Secret rare Blastoise from Plasma Storm is GOAT. Yeah, those the Blastoise and Charizard from Plasma Storm with the gold borders. Those are cool cards. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can go back and look at these vintage or mid-era cards, and they're beautiful. They're secret rare. They're hard to pull. Low pop reports, and then they're selling for what are those selling for? I could be wrong. Last I looked, I mean, I can't remember if it was 9s or 10. They're like $600 or $700. I mean, just think about that. You have sets that have been released less than a year ago. They already have cards selling for $600, $800 as PSA 9s and 10s. It's mind blowing. And so it's like, do you try to go back and find these hidden gems and hope the market goes to those? Or do you take the guaranteed plays and go where the popularity is? I mean, I'm more of I like more of the momentum plays. I like to where I see like the next, the large portion of the hobby going and trying to, make money off that momentum. That's more of like a value play, right? That's like a value investing play of seeing like, hey, it's these cards are, obviously 2 iconic Pokemon. They're very hard to hit. The secret rares of the set. Pop report's really low. I think they're undervalued. These should be valued higher, as opposed to, going after where the popularity is and the market's so liquid, and that's what's driving the prices of the items up. So it's just a different type of play. I'm more for the more like the momentum popular plays myself, but yeah, definitely could be some plays there with those Plasma Storm cards. I just noticed Gyarados is in the background of the Magikarp card. I'm looking at it right now. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Yeah, up top. So yeah, the Magikarp card from Paldea Evolved has Gyarados. It's like it's blended in with the same color as the card, but it's up top. That's pretty cool. Thanks for mentioning that, Season Salt. I probably wouldn't have seen that either. That's hilarious. If Heart Gold Soul Silver had more legend cards, I think it would be popped. There's just not enough to collect from that era. I mean, and even then, it's like it's such a small market, like for those legend cards, right? I mean, it's super awesome, right? But I just don't know how large the market is. It goes back to that whole thing of like, would you rather be in a market where there's millions of people, even though there's thousands of cards, or would you rather go to a market where there's maybe a couple thousand people, but there's a lot less of the cards available? I'm still going with where the popularity is. I just, that's where I stay. That's just how I feel about it. Here's a question. Ian, do you think Pokemon will print 151 into the ground like Pokemon Go and Shining Fates? Yep. I sure do. But unlike Pokemon Go and Shining Fates, I think it's a lot stronger set. So I don't think it's going to, get stay there the way that Pokemon Go and Shining Fates have, right? I know a lot of people like Shining Fates. It's a cheap copy of Hidden Fates, in my opinion. Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be some turbulence. There's going to be ups and downs, but no, I think Pokemon Go, the long term, is going to be well. It's going to be a good set. Hey, and then checking in from work, getting my tag team from the box break today. Oh, awesome. Milting's uncle. Yeah. So Milting's uncle, he was in the box break. He got some hits. He had a good time. Guys, the box break was a good time. I know some people hate him, but look, there was enough people that liked him. I liked it. It was a great time. Everyone was pretty positive in the stream. So there are going to be more on the channel. Listen, if you don't like them, just don't tune in. Just block them out. If I say something about it in like a 10-second clip in a video, don't hate on me for it. It's just going to be another part of the channel. The Pokemon investing content staying. The live streams are staying. The market talk's staying. Nothing's changing. It's just more is getting added on to kind of broaden the audience. So that's all it's going to be. Shill XY. All right. Got to shill it. Where's all my XY cards? Got a big stack here. Here's my stack of XY cards I can shill. No, I mean, hey, I see a play there, so I'm going for it. You don't have to like it or believe me or do the same thing. I just I see opportunity in XY. Let's see. I didn't know Pokemon Go was printed into the ground. People just didn't buy it. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, it could be a little of both. Really don't know, right? None of us know the print runs. It could have just not sold, and that's why there's so much available, right? Then Shining Fates, it was reprinted, right? It was reprinted into the ground. It was like a $80, $100 box. So it actually did well. It just got reprinted. So it all just depends on like how much. Print to demand's a really loose term. It's like until they, it's like, I don't really know even how it works. It's like until Pokemon, decides there's not enough demand to keep printing it, or I mean, I don't really know how that works. Like, at what point can you stop putting orders in? Like, they have to draw the line somewhere, right? There has to be a time where they stop making it, and so it's print to demand until it isn't. I guess is the best way to look at it. Print to demand until it isn't. Let's see. Got a question for Collect. Ghost wants to know how the conditions have been for 151. I'd like to know that too. How are the conditions out of the gate? I mean, it's Japanese, so I'm sure it's fantastic, but does it really need to be said? Pokemon has always printed specialty sets into the ground. So not necessarily. They did not print Dragon's Exalted. Is that the set? Dragon Majesty. They didn't print that into the ground. That was very low printed. The ETBs and the super premium collections, those were very low printed, and that's why they're so high. Like, that set isn't so expensive. Like, that set ETBs are like $350, and it's not that high because it's such a great set. It's because it was such low printed. Other than that, yeah, I guess most other sets have been. Champion's Path wasn't, but then got reprinted. So when it got reprinted, it basically was. I mean, I don't know if they print them into the ground. Like, I don't know if it's any more than other sets that get reprints. So I don't know. I mean, Gengar, like to an extent with some of the sets, yeah, and the reprints, but it's not like a guarantee, right? It's not a guarantee. All right, so Collect says, regular reverse had print lines. Master Ball reverse looks good. Edges of most cards are not black label worthy. Okay. Yeah, I guess in Japanese, it's all about black label. Like, for English, our stuff's so bad, we're hoping you get a 10. For Japan, they're like, well, yeah, it's a 10, obviously, but would it get a black label? Like, that's where you are at with Japan cards. When Pogo blows up again in the future, same thing will follow with cards, I think. I mean, I hope. Like, I still have Pokemon Go stuff. I sold a lot of it. I guess not a lot of it, over half, because I way overbought it. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'm still holding on for dear life. Let's see. Thank you, Season Salt. Good crowd in here. Hit the like button. Absolutely, hit the like button, guys. If anyone's in here not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. Got a lot of great content on the channel, I hope. All right, here's a good one. Your average player. Food for thought is that the print numbers released by Pokemon Company could include the new language traditional Chinese as well, making the English print run inflated. Yeah, I've always thought that. I don't think I don't think all those billions of cards are for English only. I think I'm pretty sure it's for everything. So I think there's less than people think, but yeah, there's still a lot of cards, right? There's more popularity than ever in this hobby, and so there's going to be more printed than ever. It's just the way things work. It doesn't necessarily mean everything's going to be worthless, if that makes sense. Like, we're probably never going to, I'm not going to say, we're 99.99999% never going to see commons and uncommons and regular rares and probably most even hollows ever worth anything, right? Like it's not going to be like you see with like, you know, base jungle fossil or some of those, definitely the mid era, definitely like some of the older WotC or the newer WotC, I guess you could call. We're not going to see like the commons, uncommons and all that stuff worth a whole bunch of money, or like get up in the 30, 50, $100 range like we see back then. I mean, that's just going to be a given. There's way too much product for those. But for the alt arts and like the harder to pull cards, yeah, there's a ton of product printed, but there's so few of those. Like there's probably going to be like, if you took an average, like if you were able to compare them, there's going to be less alt arts probably than the old hollows in vintage, right? Because the old hollows were 1 in every 3 packs. They were so easy to pull. You could pull a whole set with like 2 boxes, maybe 3 booster boxes. The alt arts are so much more rare. So even though, you know, hundreds and thousands of more boxes are printed, there's still not as many of those out there, I would say. I don't know. Like, sorry, there's going to be more out there. Sorry, that came out wrong. There's going to be more out there, but for the amount of people in Pokemon, like that ratio, like the amount of people in Pokemon today compared to the amount of alt arts is going to be less than the amount of people into Pokemon back then compared to the amount of hollows, if that makes sense. So there's definitely more cards now, but for the ratio compared to the vast amount of the population across the world in the Pokemon, it's less. It's definitely less. That ratio is less. That's why I think there's still going to be demand for these going forward. Let's see. All the kids got into Pokemon during COVID lockdowns will keep the hobby alive in the future when they're grown up. I mean, they will. We will. Like, how many people our age are going to like suddenly leave the hobby like in the next like year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Like, why do people see this massive drop off? Like, we already seen the drop off from the flipper, you know, mania during the boom, the run up in 2020, 2021. We've already seen that drop off. There's so many more people here for the long term than people realize. And so, yeah, you're going to have the kids coming in. You're going to have us continually making more money throughout our lives. Hopefully we're not going backwards, right? You know, you're going to have, it's going to grow. It's going to be a multi-generational hobby. I don't know. Maybe I am just the eternal optimist and I should be more bearish and I'm just stupid and I'm going to eat my words one day. But I try, like literally, I try to look for the bad. I really do. And I listen to people who see the bad. I take their arguments into account. I just can't see it. I can't bring myself to see where this major downturn is going to come. I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe I'm naive. That's what it is. Mike, I've changed my tune and we'll jump in on the next break. I just don't want them nonstop. Yeah, Mike, no, they're not going to be like the main portion of the channel. Probably a couple a month, I'm thinking. Maybe like one every couple weeks, you know, just like a fun thing to do on like a Sunday night or maybe like a Friday, Saturday night. Just something fun to open some packs. I may do they might not even all be breaks. I may even open product for myself. I don't know. I just want to bring the channel to more of like a fun, you know, for everyone channel and not like as much as it's been like a hard, staunch, like debates on investing in Pokemon and drama back and forth. And I just want to have a little more fun in collecting content on the channel. That's, you know, kind of more for everyone, not like it doesn't alienate a whole portion of the hobby type thing. But don't get me wrong. I mean, there's definitely going to be the same in-depth content about the investing side and all that and going over the numbers, you know, showing the charts, the statistics, the analytics. But, you know, I just want a little something for everyone. Just trying to get a little something for everyone. Even though this is a sealed channel, the pack break was great. I appreciate you, Alex. Oh, thanks a lot, CJ. Happy to hear that. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I definitely do gravitate more towards sealed. I think sealed's the safest play in the hobby. I think it's the most proven play. I think if like anyone's getting into Pokemon, they ask me like, what's the, you know, most guaranteed way? You know, nothing's guaranteed, remember. But you know, what's most proven over time? I would say sealed booster box investing. It's the most proven over time. But yeah. Justin, this is a great stream. Also, are you buying Japanese 151? Sorry if you already said. Twice Baked Jake is thinking it. Japanese is going to start going chill out. Gonna start chilling out. Yeah, I'm going to, but not now. Not now. It's too early. Too early for it. And I'm just like, look, I'm one of those people that's okay with missing plays. And so I'm not one of those people who's going to go through all those different outlets and setting up proxy addresses and doing all the ordering from Japan and waiting months. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hope the market drops and becomes more attainable. If it does drop to that level where I feel comfortable getting in at a realistic price point, I will buy in. But yeah, you can take that route. Again, go to Dan's channel, catch him on collectibles. He'll explain how to do all that. I'm just not want to do that. Like, there's so many plays out there. I don't need to make every single play. And if it means doing all these different backdoor things with Japan, I'm not about it. Like, I have too many other things going on in my life. I'm not looking to dive in that deep to it. But yeah, I'll be getting some eventually. Gengar, the break was awesome. Can't wait for the next one. I love it. I love hearing that, guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate the feedback. Alex, are you going to switch it up with some more with store find content? Are you going to switch it up some more with store find content? Store find. What do you mean by that, Hermit? Leave that in the chat again. Let me know what you meant by that. Like finding stores that have better deals? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. They're doing a UPC for 151. However, I don't think anyone knows it is especially holiday set. That'd be cool. Hey, I always love UPC products. They always do well. I mean, Charizard UPC, obviously it's yet to be seen, but I mean, just go back. Like look at Hidden Fates, look at Shining Legends, look at Dragon Majesty, look at I mean, I feel like especially Generations, like all the obviously Celebrations, all the UPCs have done well. I love hearing UPC. Austin, listen, guys, if you didn't get in on Evolving Skies when they were 100 apiece, you missed your mark. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. And that's the thing, guys. Like, if you're looking to buy one for your collection and the reprints don't come, yeah, I get it. Like, I might even have to do that. I sold out of all of them. I usually don't do that, but I did with Evolving Skies. I might have to do that. But like, looking to invest. Look, even if it does, like even if that magical $1,000 box level does get hit, how long is it going to take? And $1,000 box would be 150%. 400 to 1,000 would be 150% gain. So that'd be the same as seeing like a $100 box go to 250, right? Or a PC ETB going from like $50 or $60 to 150, right? Like, do you think that's more likely in a faster amount of time, or you think Evolving Skies is going to get to $1,000 in the same amount of time? That's how you have to look at it in like terms of percentage growth. And so, yeah, at 400 a box, I mean, it's still going to be a great set. You're probably still going to make money on it. It's just, where's the best place to put your money right now? I don't know if that's it. I just don't know. I think so crypto now. I think the $400 price point where a lot of people have doubled their money who bought at 200 and below. Yeah, people are definitely taking gains right now, especially because the reprints are getting rumored because Lost Origin. So yeah, there's a lot of profit taking happening right now. If the reprints don't come, that could backfire though. The same thing, like kind of how Evolutions hit that like $300 price point, everyone was selling out, and then everyone who bought it there sold out, or bought lower sold out, and then it propelled it to the next level. And then everyone at 300 was selling out, but that then propelled to the next level because there was too many buyers and sellers. Kind of like the reason the stock price goes up. When there's more buyers than sellers at a price point, it pushes it higher. We could see that happen with Evolving Skies. If it doesn't get a reprint, we could see a very real another like race up. I mean, we could see it go to $500, $600, $700 box very quickly. Let's see. 3,000 in 4 years. All right, collect Pokemon. We're putting your word on it. We're putting your word on that. Yeah, Team Up's at 2K. What's going on with Team Up is outrageous. Completely out of control. That Team Up was not even that sought after of a set. It wasn't even the top. It was not the top set in the, or was it? I'm trying to think. I think it kind of always was most expensive because it was such short printed, but it wasn't the most popular. Like that was not like the set, like back in the day. That was not the set that like you wanted to go watch getting open. That was not the set you wanted to open. That was not the set you bought packs for. It was not like the most popular set in terms of like hits in Pokemon. So it's crazy to see. I think it was always most expensive. Now that I think about it, it was always like $700, like after the all the run up, when everything else was still like $300, $400, $500, I think. So yeah, I kind of corrected myself there. Tell them collect Pokemon, cool new videos. Sharing love in the chat. Gotta love to see that. Cruise TCG. You have to be active in the market, always paying attention and looking for good buying opportunities. There's always good plays, but people don't want to put forth to find them. Yeah, exactly. Like that's why like I was critical in the past of like grading, of like the grading plays and the PSA and all that, is because you have to be active to like kind of want to do this as like a business or want to like build your collection for free, make profits. Like on the short term, you have to be active because there's always deals. There's always things you're going to miss. There's always plays. That's why I preach sealed investing, because like right now, you don't have to be too active to check once a week and see, oh, look, Paldea Evolve, I can find these under $600 a case. I'm going to pick these up and put them away long term. It doesn't take, you don't have to be too active. You don't have to watch the market closely to let sealed booster boxes grow. But yeah, like I agree with you. As far as like all the plays, you have to be really in tune with the market because plays disappear. That's the thing. Plays will disappear in a blink of an eye if you don't take advantage of them when you see them. So collect Pokemon lives in Hong Kong. Well, that's awesome. We got a viewer here from Hong Kong. That is cool to hear. I'm gonna check out Collect Pokemon's channel then. I want to hear how the Chinese market is going right now. Let's see. So there's so that I don't know figure is at the Pokemon site he mentioned earlier. I'll have to check it out. I didn't know a figurine was going for hundreds of dollars. That's madness. Madness. Are plushies next? Honest opinion on Obsidian Flames. I don't see any bad. Where's the bad, right? Like we could all like hate on the Charizard artwork and stuff, but guys, I don't even think Paldea is a bad set. Like I think these are gorgeous sets. They have tons of hits. They have something for everyone, I feel like. Obsidian Flames, like I haven't done a ton of research into it yet, but just being a Charizard set, just having those type of like the Pokemon's going to have in it, I think it's going to do well, right? I think it's going to get pumped. You know, like I don't like getting into like the number of the set, right? I don't like getting into like, well, look at how the other first two sets, or look how the other third set of ever era is done. Because if you go back to look at XY, Flashfire was the second set. Flashfire is the most expensive set in the era, right? Then it was like Furious Fist, and then I think Phantom Forces. Like those sets were some of the most expensive sets in the era, along with base set. And then again, like you can look at Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, but then like you can't look at every set in every era because it changes around, right? So I get Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. They had lackluster first 2 and 3 sets, but it's not like the rule. Like don't think that's the rule. Like I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of people thinking like oh, that's the rule. Like that's how it is. Pokemon always has lackluster couple sets. Well, recently, right? In the last like 3-5 years, it's been like that, but it hasn't always been like that. So be careful before you assign rules to things. But Obsidian Flames, I like it. Ramrod, I did have a good time. Got a hit, can't complain. I mean, I could, but no cares. Definitely do some more. Awesome to hear. Ramrod was in the pack break. Let's see. How long would you think Evolving Skies will reach 800? I think if it doesn't get a reprint, quicker than you think. Quicker than you think. I would say, I mean, I hate throwing timelines out like crystal ball, like not investment advice, you know, like don't take anything I say as investment advice, not an investment advisor, all that stuff. But I can see it hitting $800 a box in like 2-3 years if Pokemon continues with popularity, if it doesn't get a reprint. If it gets a reprint, there is no telling. I mean, depending on what price point the reprint gets put at, how much is reprinted. I mean, it could, you know, drop down and jump back up in the $300, $400, $500 range and sit there for a long time. I don't know. But no reprint. Yeah, 800 is reasonable. Definitely reasonable to me. Are you doing a box break on 151? Here's the thing. I don't have a way to get it at a good price. So, I mean, if I did a box, here, I'll put that in the poll. Like, just watch for my poll I put out. It'll be like a community post on YouTube. And I'll also, you know, ask people on Instagram. But guys, I mean, if I bought it at market price and I have to sell the packs for a little extra, right? And like, I just don't know if it's gonna make sense. I don't know if people are gonna want to pay that much to open 151. I don't know if I'd feel good about selling packs that expensive when I know the set's gonna drop and the time comes. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see. We'll see what everyone else thinks. So Nico hitting home, shot to my heart here. People have realized English is subpar in printing. Oh, and printing quality. Okay. Compared to Japanese, as long as it stays that way, Japanese will outpace English. Maybe. I still think there's a. I mean, I think Ray touched on this in the live with Ray. Like, well, do collectors even read the cards? Not really, but there's just something about like the visual aspect. I'd rather buy an English card, have the English writing on it. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe tides are changing. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. Maybe the tides are changing to Japanese, and people don't care about being able to read the cards, and they want to. They do want to go that route because the card quality is better. Absolutely. That's not even up to debate. The card quality's always been better in Japanese. Always. So that's no debate. It's a possibility. I'll say that. It's a possibility. TJT, how do you feel about the Sword and Shield alt arts going for so cheap? I think, let me think about this. I think we still need to wait and see a little bit, but there could be some crazy opportunities. Like, I'm bullish on alt arts for the future. I wasn't bullish on the price points. You're right. We are starting to see, you kind of have to dig through each set and see and kind of like pick and choose, because some of like the most popular ones, they're not seeing as much retraces. But yeah, I think we are seeing some buying opportunities. For me, like, I'm still putting the majority of my money in sealed product, but there are opportunities in those alt arts. I think just because they're so, I don't think people truly appreciate, it's talked about, but I don't think people truly appreciate just how rare those cards are. Just how rare those are. I can't, there's not another set in history. Like, there's nothing else in history. Like, I don't know. I don't know as much about gold stars, but like definitely the shinings back in Neo, definitely crystals in Skyridge, like and Aquapolis. Obviously, all the hollows in WotC first gen. Nothing is as rare as those cards. Now you could say, well, there's so much more printers, there's more of them out there. That's great. But as far as like opening cards up, like buying a case, if you were able to buy a case of any Pokemon set in history compared to like buying a case and opening an alt art, I'd be willing to put alt arts up there, especially in some of those sets, up there with the most rare cards in all of Pokemon. Now, because gold stars and shinings and crystals, because those sets were so scarce, they're so rare now, they're so expensive because they're so hard to find, those cards are always going to be worth more, right? But it doesn't mean they're more rare. Alt arts may be more rare. Just going to throw it out there. Let's see. Everybody in the hobby has UPC sealed. Can't be a good sign. Elvis, that's the that is the wrong mindset. That's what you get for hanging around too many Discords, too many like hanging on E4 and going to Pokemon channels like mine. You get a mindset that everyone is doing this. Everyone's Rudy and has Mountains of Seal product. They don't. Go to a PokeRev stream. All right. Those millions of people watching him, like Real Breaking Nate, right? Who else? Like, no, those people aren't doing that, right? These people are not putting boxes and UPCs away. They're opening cards. They're collecting. It's usually parents and their kids, usually kids. They're creasing their cards in the playground and at school still. Like, it's not happening like at the rate you think. It seems that way, right? Because you get in a channel like mine and there's a few thousand people, or you get in some Discords or E4 or these other chat rooms where there's like hundreds of people all saying they're doing it. That's hundreds of people. Hundreds, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people. That's nothing compared to the vast majority of the Pokemon hobby. It's such a small sect, but we get in our minds that everyone's doing it because we're in all these little echo chambers in YouTube, right? It's not happening at the rate you think. It's not like mainstream. Everyone's putting away sealed product. I asked my local card shop about that too. I'm like, what amount of people are coming in here buying cases, right? Because like they had cases at the cheapest price I could find around. They were $96.99 a box. And they're just like, oh, we don't really have anyone. I mean, there's a few people that we know that stream that buy cases, or someone will open cases and buy, but like it's very, very few people buy cases. Like, so it's not, people aren't buying large amounts of product and putting it away at the rates people think. That's all I'm going to say. It's overblown in these YouTube communities. Do you think it'll be hard to sell Crown Zenith boxes? Depends on your time frame. No, like liquidity wise, a Crown Zenith, no. But It depends on your time frame, right? If you're trying to like do a quick flip, no way. Quick flips are over. The quick flips in the Pokemon Field community, that's over with, right? Unless like TCG ETBs, right? Pokemon Center ETBs are quick flips right now. But yeah, I mean, those times are kind of done. The scalping on those is done. So no, it's not going to be a quick flip. In the future, I think it'd be fine. Especially if you want to break it. I mean, as the set rises, you can always break things down too. That's the beauty of sealed. Like you can break them down. If the promos start being worth money, you can grade the promos. You can still sell them as a sealed product. There's a lot of different avenues you can go with it. Let's see. LS Lee, I love these questions. If you had 20K to deploy right now, would you diversify on many products or concentrate on a few? It depends on what you're trying to do in the hobby. So look, if anyone knows me, I am so far against fence sitting. I hate being on other channels and people get questions. They always want to sit the fence. They never want to give exact answers because they don't want to ever be wrong. And they always want to, give all this nuance. Look, I'm not that person. I will give answers. I will say, don't take anything I say as like gospel because I have been wrong. I will be wrong again. But I will answer this question as in what I would do. So what I'm doing is I'm picking up Charizard UPCs because the price point's so low. I'm picking up the newer sets because I think here, go back and look at like any Pokemon set in history. It doesn't matter how lackluster it was, they rise in value. And so when I see all this hate on Scarlet Violet base and Rebel Clash and Paldea Evolved, and I can see cases, I can pick them up for under $600 when distribution is costing like $570 and plus. I'm picking these up. So I'm putting these away for the future. As far as Sword and Shield era products, I think there's a lot of products there you can buy for future growth. Especially the set, like when you can find sales and boxes in like the 120s. I think a lot of those sets are buys. What was your question though? Or concentrate on a few. So that also depends on how risky you want to get. That's like saying, should I buy a single stock? Like, should I buy Tesla or should I buy a mutual fund? Well, if you bought Tesla, you'd be doing great. In the past few months, you're up probably 70% on your money. Tesla is skyrocketing, right? It's like, it's really just like what your risk tolerance is, right? Because if you put all your money in a couple products and you get those wrong, you could be sitting on a lot of dead inventory. Whereas if you diversify like a mutual fund and you buy a bunch of different products and a bunch of different sets, and some do well, some don't do well, and you're kind of up and down. I kind of did a video on it on my channel about Sword and Shield era. If you'd have bought every Sword and Shield era booster case, as well as the specialty sets of cases of ETBs or celebrations and everything, one of every case. So you got Sword and Shield base, you got Rebel Clash, you got Evolving Skies, all doing well. Then you got some lackluster sets in there. You got Battle Styles, and you got Astral Radiance. You got some. But they all kind of average out, and you'd have been up like I think it was like 90 or 100% overall in the past 3 years. And so it's a good steady gain, like 30% growth. But if you think you're a good picker, if you're knowledgeable and you think like, no, these are the sets, these have the hits in them, these have the right Pokemon, maybe go that route. Because if you'd have done that with like Evolving Skies and base set and celebrations or some other things, you'd have crushed the gains of anyone diversifying. So it's really about how confident you are in yourself, how well you know the products, and then how much risk you want to take. But that's kind of what I would do. I hope that kind of answered your question in a roundabout way. Not trying to like sit the fence or tell you, you not to do certain things. That's just kind of the route I'm taking. I like to put my money into new products that I can get under retail around like at the lowest possible cost because my risk is so low. So when I look at things, I don't look at like how much I can make. I look at like how much I can lose, right? And when I see things at distribution level, sure, there can be flash sales of stores trying to just like clear inventory and things can tank like Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, Battle Styles did down in the 80s. But they over time, like, they're usually going to move back higher. And so I feel like there's sets right now that are at a very like Scarlet Violet base and Paldea Evolved. They're so low that there's very little risk. So that's why I like putting my money into those right now. Charizard UPCs, there's very little risk like to the downside. There might be a risk to like not making money on the upside for a while, but the downside risk is so low. That's why I like it. It's like, do I keep money in a savings account or do I put it here where I see steady growth and low risk? That's how I see it. Are Sword and Shield alt arts undervalued in your opinion? A lot of them, yeah. A lot of them are. Some of them aren't. Some of them are still high. Let's see. finally getting started on Crown Zenith singles. These prices are starting to get very nice. I agree. That Mewtwo, what, it's under $50 now? Getting to like low 40s, I think. Awesome to see that. Definitely becoming a collector's market again. Is that a mic I see? I've had a mic. I've had a mic for a while. I got a Blue Yeti. The quality should be sounding a little better. I got this arm, but like my desk I have a wide desk, so it doesn't get like all the way up to my face. So I got to figure something out there, but it still should be pretty good. It shouldn't sound as bad or echoey or as quiet. Future Flash. Of course, Future Flash is going to talk about the future trajectory for regular illustration rares. Is it very hard to pull a specific card? No. So the regular illustrations, I think there's a couple of box. What is it? 3, 2? I forget. But no, I think it's going to be like anything else. Go after the popular Pokemon. Guys, don't try to be smarter than you think you are. Like, don't try to make all these ideas in your head. Just play it how it goes. Buy the popular Pokemon, right? After they plateau, you can find the popular. If you want to play the market, buy the popular Pokemon. Make sure you pre-grade them. When you grade them, usually the popular Pokemon, even though they're not the top rarity, look at the other sets. They'll sell for $30, $40, $50, $60. Like, there's money to be made. The better ones are probably going to go close to 100. Like, there's money to be made in the popular Pokemon, even if it's not like the god tier rarity. Even like they're still hard to pull. There's some rarity there. The popular Pokemon are always going to sell. Like, if you're trying to like speculate on some, out there Pokemon that no one really likes, but because you're thinking the pop report's going to be so low, you're going to be the only one in the market. You can do that on some things if you want to play that, but I would just say go with what's popular. Go with what's proven. Pokemon Gym Hero, what's up, man? Oh, he's replying to TJT. Never mind. They aren't alt arts. They are SIR illustrations. Yeah. That's why the pull rates are higher and much easier to pull. Yeah. Yeah. They're definitely easier. Working Class Hero. Love it. Green Day, right? Just wanted to say that although I did not pull anything, the box break the other night was really fun. Hope you did it more often. You see what I'm saying? Like, every single person that was in the box break or there had a great time. Everyone was happy, loved it. Like, it was just a good time. Like, that's why I'm going to keep doing them, because everyone had a good time. I had a good time. Working Class Hero, man. Thanks for letting me know. Appreciate the feedback. Question. I snagged a Hidden Fates Ultra Premium Rayquaza statue box for $130 a few years back. It's not about stuff. I was like, no way. What? Okay, yeah, $700. Would you offload? If it's your only one, that's all up to you, man. Is it part of your collection? Like, is it a big part of your collection? Like, I'll be honest, there's a good chance you're never going to get it back for this price again. It's going to continue to rise over time slowly. So if it's something like you were hoping to like buy back at some point, no. If it's something you're like, it's purely investment perspective, yeah, it's probably a good time to sell it, right? I mean, it's going to take a long time for it to go from 700 to a 1400, I think. But yeah, great play, great snag on that. I know I talked about like obvious plays in one of my streams with who was it? Old Card Shop, and I got kind of blown up in the chat. And he blew me up like saying nothing's obvious. That was an obvious play. I mean, there are obvious plays like Hidden Fates, awesome set. Rayquaza, obvious Pokemon. Like, that was an obvious play. Like, you could argue it wasn't an obvious price point. You could say there wasn't an obvious time frame, but that was an obvious play that it was going to rise in value over time. So good play on that one, Zach. All right. Jim Hero, are you the guy from Pokenomics call-in show for 3 hours? We don't mention that name here, Leaf Green Goblin. Let's see. I don't believe so. I was on there. I was on there, but not 3 hours. Huh. Maybe that was Radar or Retro or PK. Those guys are usually on their lives. Oh, man. WTF is a waifu. Come on, Buffalo Bill. Those are the super sexy the super sexy chicks on Pokemon cards, right? You know what? Hey, think about it. Think about this. A lot of those like famous artists in history, there's always like, you know, naked ladies portrayed in one of their artworks, right? And everyone just writes it off as, oh, well, that's art. You know, that's art. It's okay for nudity to be an art, right? So I don't understand. Like, obviously they're putting provocative, you know, anime chicks on these cards now. Obviously, they know their market. Like, they get the kids are a part of it, but they know, Pokemon knows there's a bunch of adults, you know, from the 90s buying this stuff. And they know there's creepy people out there that want to collect all these anime chicks. So honestly, it's just it's the natural progression of things. That's the society we're in. Talking about serialized cards. Space Frog, why do you think so many of these Sword and Shield gallery cards are priced so low compared to their main set counterparts? Seems like a lot of these subsequent gallery cards are can move up very quickly. Yeah, let me think. One, I think it's because, like, I think on TCG Player, I think they stopped listing those in some of the sets in like the main cards. Like, you have to search those separately, like the gallery cards. I could be wrong. They might have changed for a portion. I think some of the sets they were like that, which I think hurt because it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. Obviously, they're less rare. You know, the yellow border, like the yellow border around the card, as opposed to like the full art, the whole card is part of the art, I think is kind of less desirable for some people. But there are a ton of crazy artworks. They do still have some level of rarity to them. So those are another thing. Those are another cards where you could probably pick up and make a you know, one of those things where you can pick up $2, $3, $4, $5 a card, and they may end up being, you know, $8, $9, $10 a card, and you might be able to grade them and sell them for $50, $40, $50, $60. Like, there are plays in those, but as far as being like you know, low compared to like the main, I think the main cards are just kind of more, you know, in your face, right? You know, the gallery is just kind of like a secondary pool, kind of like you know, okay. They definitely, hands down, better than any other thing they've had in the past. Better than breaks or primes or amazing rares or any of that stuff they did. They're definitely better than that, but they're just not up to the standards of like a true hit, if that makes sense. What price point do you think it's worth to invest in 1999 Snap cards? No idea on those. Sorry, Smash Dragon. I wish I'm not the right guy to ask on those. Agreed. Nagaba cards are garbage. They belong in the fridge. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why these certain trends pick up and like it's like the cool thing to be involved. Where I think if you asked most people like how they actually felt, or wait 2-3 years, and I bet a bunch of people will say, yeah, I was never collecting those. Yeah, those were kind of weird or something, but who knows? I could be wrong. I don't get it. Jay, I don't hate the Nagaba cards. I just hate the hype. Yeah, maybe that's for me too. I think the hype over them is just so strange. So strange. Do you think Sun and Moon art alts will ever go down in price? Oh man, that's a hard one. It's a hard one because there's like two schools of thought, right? One school is they're getting bought up and ran out and kind of manipulated. But the other school of thought is now they're finally being properly valued as the, you know, the awesome arts and the hits that they are, right? So have they got pushed too far? Could we see some retracements? Yeah, probably. I could see seeing some retracements, but they're definitely going to settle at a price point much higher than what they were, because I think they were just getting, I think people were just missing them. I missed it. Like, I don't have a ton of alt arts in my collection or that I have graded. Like, I missed a lot of that play. I think a lot of people did, but I think now they're finally getting more properly valued. I think some of them are definitely overvalued now, but I think they're definitely going to settle a lot higher than they were, for sure. Yeah, Hermit. Unagaba, he's like a famous artist, and like that's why these cards are being pushed. I mean, because the art on the cards is just pretty plain, pretty lackluster. Let's be honest. Best from the set. Just scrolling through the chat, guys, seeing what you guys got for me. Old Card Shop's here. What's up, bro? Great content. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you stopping by for one of these. Let's see. Pikachu promos are about to pop off. Which Pikachu promos are you talking about? There have been many. Ultra Prism cards are super underrated. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about like amazing rares and stuff, but like I just don't think the rarity or they're sought after enough. Like there's a lot they picked a lot of great Pokemon to do the things with. It's just I just don't know if they have the legs behind them. I don't know. There's too much. There's too much to collect. And that's a reason why there's like these niches that pop off like tag team but because of that, I just don't know if people ever go work their way down to those cards. Now, another school of thought, they're very affordable. They're like a super affordable way to collect, which could eventually, make them sought after enough to raise them, when things are, low, $2, $4 is technically 100% of your money, or $5 or $10 is technically 100% of your money. So yeah, there could be opportunity in them. I get it. Here's another one. Dragon Type Master Channel. Should I sell my shiny fates? I have about $2,000 of 2Gs of product. Oh man. $2,000. I don't have that much. Yeah, I don't have that much of shining fates, but I'm holding mine. I bought back in at their reprint. I think I'm still down though, like from what it's selling for now. But I'm gonna hold it like $2,000. Here's the thing. So if you sell, you're gonna eat the shipping fees. You're gonna eat your fees. You're gonna eat all that stuff, and then you have to have a place where you're gonna put it. So $2,000, after shipping fees, all that, what do you get? Like 1,700, maybe 10, somewhere around there. So where is that 1,700 gonna be put? So where are you gonna invest that 1,700 that is gonna outperform the $2,000 you have in these? And if you think there's somewhere to go, then do it. I mean, hey, that's why stores dump product. Stores will dump product at a loss so that they can go pick up other new items that they're going to be able to sell more for. So like stores right now, they're dumping Scarlet Violet base. They're dumping Paldea Evolve so they can pick up a ton of 151 and Obsidian Flames. Like that's a play that's happening right now. That's why those prices are so low on some of that stuff. So yeah, if you think you can do better somewhere else, that can be a play. I'm not going to lie and say I haven't taken a loss before. I sold Pokemon Go at a loss, right? When I saw the print run was a lot, that the popularity wasn't there, that it was not going to be one of those sets that came out hot. I sold a lot of my position. I kept some, I keep some of everything, but I sold my position. So I've taken a loss before, and I would say that where I put that money since then, I've done a lot better. Like that money's made me more money than Pokemon Go has, so it was the right decision. It was the wrong decision buying it in the first place, but it was the right decision to sell when I did. So always got to be auditing your collection. Question, do you gift your friends and family with some of your poorer performing Pokemon investments? Absolutely. Absolutely. A friend of mine, I give his kids some stuff. Whether, why I send it in for bulk or why, try to sell it for like a couple dollars sometimes. I'll just give it to him if it's something he likes and stuff like that. Or like cousins of mine, that are into Pokemon, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely do that stuff sometimes. I got asked this already, a box break for 151. I don't probably not right now. I'll ask people. I'll do a poll if people want me to, maybe, but it's just, I feel it's overvalued right now and the pack price is so high and I feel bad selling those packs for that much, especially when I know the singles are going to come down in price probably. So even if you got a hit, you're probably coming. I don't know. I'll think about it. Greetings from Switzerland. Oh, awesome to hear. We're all over the world today. We're Australia, Switzerland, China, UK. I mean, this is awesome. Love to hear it. This is a good time of day. Thanks, Over Holland, for checking it out. Where do you sell to avoid fees in the EU? No ideas in the EU. No ideas. Sorry, 3RK. Anyone from the EU got advice for him, leave it in the chat for him. Future Flash, with specific illustration rares being harder to pull than special illustration rares, do you think the regular illustration rares will end up being the new chase card? I think I answered this already. This isn't, or answered a similar question. With special illustration rares being harder to pull than the special. I mean, if it's a super popular Pokemon, it's possible they could outperform some of the illustration rares. But no, if there's a special illustration rare of a popular Pokemon or popular character, it's probably going to still outperform the regular rare character rare or regular illustration rare because of the rarity. But yeah, there's always outliers. There's some that are going to outperform others. I get it. Yeah, I mean, again, these are all like really in-depth questions. If you're diving into the sets deep and you know Pokemon, you're knowledgeable, make those plays. Like, you don't need to ask me. Like, if you're even questioning that for yourself, you already know enough, I'm sure, that you can kind of see where the markets are moving. Make those plays. Yeah, make them. Like, obviously there's always going to be risks involved. But yeah, if you see that, jump on it, because yeah, there's always going to be outliers in each set. Like, it's kind of like regular full arts being worth more than rainbow rares in Sun and Moon. Like, there's a lot of full arts that are worth more than rainbow rares. It's because they're more sought after. Like, they look better, they're more popular Pokemon, whatever it may be. So yeah, it's the same type of scenario. Nothing's changed. That was at a time Pokemon wasn't so popular. I don't know what that was referencing. Nicola, nothing. Just got here. Been here 2 hours, man. There is a good Pokemon channel that just did review BB versus ETB. How much value you get from a space it takes, and booster boxes is far ahead of ETBs, even PC ETBs. So I go check out the beginning of this stream when you're done. I actually showed every PC ETB versus every booster box set from Chilling Reign on. The PC ETBs kept up with them until now. The PC ETBs are way outperforming. So I don't know because of the new stamp promos, if that's going to be a new thing. But yeah, you're right. ETBs were a better investment back in XY and Sun and Moon a lot of the time because they were much lower printed. And the reprints always came in booster boxes. Nowadays, because of big box stores and the reprints, it seems like ETBs are reprinted more and printed more of in general. And so they're not as good of investments nowadays. So it's one of those things. I've actually changed my ways. I was actually more in on ETBs before. Now I'm back to being more in on booster boxes because booster boxes have shown that they're going to be the main investment vehicle out of the sets. So yeah, booster boxes ahead of regular ETBs. PC, it's honestly yet to be seen. Will the scarcity of the ETBs, the PC ETBs, carry them and keep up with the boosters and even surpass them in some cases? I don't know. For me, a booster box is so much more liquid. It's what everyone knows. I know it sounds crazy, but not everyone out there is up on PC ETBs, right? Like, that's why you'll see TCG players sell PC ETBs higher than what Pokemon Center even sells them for, because a lot of people just don't shop Pokemon Center. But booster boxes are universal, so I always like staying with a more liquid item. From Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield. So Sun and Moon, if you go look, a lot of the ETBs are actually more valuable than the booster boxes. And what I mean by that is they were $40 and then they appreciated to whatever they're at, compared to the booster boxes being $90 to wherever the ETBs outpace percentage-wise, a lot of them. Even some, I think ETBs are more expensive than some of the booster boxes, especially in XY. So, and black and white. So it wasn't always the case. But yeah, booster boxes, I agree, they're better now. I'm working super hard right now. Just know I'm listening. Thanks, Alex, everyone, for the questions. Hey, I'm glad to add a little light to your day at work, Justin. Good to hear. Ramrod, what's up? Remember to grab trick or treats, hand them out. It's like crack. First one's free. Keep them addicted. Start them young. We'll need buyers in the future. Didn't it feel like that though? That is exactly what those packs felt like. It's almost like just take a little. You can't stop once you start. I'm so glad you said that. That I felt the exact same way about those packs. People also have to consider the amount of money made in the stock market this year. A lot of people, I assume, threw money into stocks as well this year instead of Scarlet Violet. I'm one of those people. I talked about it. There were a lot of people were asking if I was buying stuff like months ago. And I was like, be honest with you, I'm putting a lot of money in the stock market right now. I haven't been buying as much because there were so many opportunities. And a lot of those opportunities have turned out, I hate to say it, they've turned out better than a good portion of my Pokemon investments so far. Believe it or not. So there was a time when the stock market had no opportunities though, and Pokemon did. It's back and forth. That's why I talk about the two interchangeably. You're always asking yourself when you get money, right? You get your paycheck, you pay your bills, you have your excess money. Where is the best place to put this? That's why it shouldn't be like, oh no, don't talk about the stock market. You can't compare the two. BS. I'm going to compare anywhere I can put my money. I'm going to compare, well, what are CD rates at, right? Well, what does the stock market do? Are there any stocks that I see interest in? Are there any Pokemon products I see plays in. I'm going to look everywhere, right? I'm going to look everywhere I can put my money and then decide where the best pot I feel I can put my money at that time. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a stock. It doesn't matter if it's an investment, a Pokemon. It doesn't matter. You're just looking to get the best returns possible. It should be interchangeable. It shouldn't be a hot button issue. What would you consider a major downturn? I don't think that's going to happen, but I think Japan is in a bubble. Major downturn, like I would say, like the market as a whole seeing like major percent losses, like we saw after the boom, like 30, 40, 50% downturns, but it has to be the market as a whole, right? So it can't just be like, oh, just China or just Japan, has a downturn in their market, or it can't be like, oh, Scarlet and Violet boxes are seeing a downturn, or, oh, there's certain Sword and Shield cards, alt arts that are seeing downturns. That's not a total market downturn. That's not like anything to worry about. Those are natural ebbs and flows. It'd be like seeing every single set, every box, every card across the board, all dropping simultaneously. That's what I would call a major market downturn. So that's kind of what I look for. Do you think Pokemon Go set will recover? I got like 4 to 5 products of that set, and I don't know what to do. I ask myself the same question every day, Tag. I'm just so disappointed in that set. I thought I was going to do so much better with the popularity of what Pokemon Go. Like Pokemon Go, for anyone who doesn't know, anyone who got in this hobby in 19, 20, 21 now, Pokemon Go, the game for the phone, that was the original thing that revamped, that revitalized this hobby. And no matter what anyone says, it's the truth. If you can look back at like Google Trend search results, Pokemon searches went way up. You can look at Nintendo stock. Go back. If you go look at Nintendo stock after Pokemon Go and Evolutions, all that was released, the stock started to skyrocket, right? So like the games started to sell more again. So it revitalized Pokemon as a brand, not just the card game, as a brand. And so I thought that was going to like have some sort of carryover to the card game, and boy, was I wrong. So Tag, I don't have a good answer for you, man. Same thing I told the other guy. If you have somewhere else where you're wanting to put money and you don't have liquid funds and you see better options there, and even after eating the fees and shipping, you think it's still better, go for it. Go for it. We could be wrong and it could go up high. It could have a resurgence in the future. I don't know. That's the market is. You never know what the Pokemon market's going to do. KNP, I love listening to people pooping on Pokemon Go. I'm in the hobby since 2009. Okay. Buying and selling and remembering the same going on with Call of Legends, Double Crisis, Shining Legends, assuming. Yeah, I remember Double Crisis, Shining Legends. I don't remember Call of Legends. I wasn't in there for that. But absolutely, Double Crisis, no one cared. Like, no one even really knows about that set. Shining Legends, I mean, again, maybe my brain just works different because even Old Card Shop blew me up for it. Even the chat blew me up in that live stream. But Shining Legends was like an absolute no-brainer for me. It was one of the sets that I invested in the heaviest during Sun and Moon. But yeah, I just don't know if Pokemon Go has the strength those have, right? I don't know. You could be right, though. You could be right. It's something to think about. Like, I don't have the answer. It's something that's definitely debatable. I don't have the answer. Nick P. Finally got to listen to it live, sitting at home with my newborn. Will you ever start a Discord? Awesome to hear, man. Get them started early. Newborns already getting started listening to Pokemon podcasts. I love it. Will I ever start a Discord? Funny enough, I created one. I just never made it public. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could. I can start a Discord. I mean, I'm so bad with tech. Like I'm still like learning how Discord even works really. But yeah, I'll put in some effort on some time off I have, and maybe I'll create a Discord. All right. You broke me down, Nick. You got $200 to spend. What are you buying in the current market to flip for the biggest gains? $200 to flip. $200 to flip. I'm probably looking for, I'm just going to look for any modern era card right now. XY, Sun and Moon, or Sword and Shield. And I'm going to look for anything I can, that I can source to grade. That's what I'd be doing. And at the price points, I would look for popular Pokemon. In my mind, like the most, like the biggest hit cards in the set, those are usually the most like competed against. I'd probably find one of the middle, like I look like for more of the middle range cards, but still popular Pokemon that still have some liquidity. And I usually go for those and try to grade those. So that would be my opinion. Because they're $200 and to flip, you're not looking to invest. Like you're not looking at booster boxes or like UPCs or anything like that, right? Because you can't flip those. Those are going to be long-term plays. So you have to be to flip. You have to be talking about cards, or you can try some arbitrage, right? Some retail arbitrage. You can try to search around all the different sites online and look for sales. And whenever you see a flash sale, pick it up and try to flip it on TCG Player or eBay real quick and try to make some margin there. But other than that, yeah, it's got to be singles. It's got to be singles, and a lot of times it's got to be grading. TJT, do you think Pokemon are going to change up the second half of Scarlet and Violet with different kinds of arts? You know what? They always do it, don't they? So yeah, probably. They did it with Tag Team. They did it with Alt Arts. They probably are. I would expect it. So I think that's coming down. I'm so far behind in the chat. All right. Ramrod TV's right. Let me scroll down. Guys, I'm going to skip some of the questions we already had. How do you feel about Unified Minds and Unbroken Bond Sealed? Well, bullish, because I just opened those two boxes on my live. But no, I mean, they're tag team sets. So tag team cards are hot. I think they're good. As far as like you investing in them right now, they just had a huge run up. So I'm not a big fan of investing in things after they had a huge run up. If you're wanting to collect them, I don't know. After huge run ups, you could always see downturns because people are like wanting to cash in, and everyone realizes that they're up so high and they start wanting to sell their products, and a bunch start coming to market. So maybe you can pick them up cheaper for a collection, but I don't know. But long term, I think they're still good. They're great sets, got great tag teams, great chase cards, great looking sets. Let's see. Yeah, right. Damo, can you try to get Danny Phantom on for a live? Yeah, I'd love to. I'll reach out to him. The reason I'm laughing is because I mean, the dude's got like 100,000 subscribers. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not like personal friends with him, and I don't know if he's gonna hop on a channel like as small as mine with a guy he doesn't know. But yeah, maybe I'll start reaching out to some bigger people in the hobby and see if they want to come on for some lives and hearing their perspectives. You know, I'll keep that in mind. I mean, I'm no stranger to reaching out to. I have no like. I'm not timid. Like I'll reach out to anyone. I'll try anything. Like it doesn't. If they ignore me and stuff, it doesn't bother me. I'll definitely go for it. I just don't get your hopes up for people at that level wanting to come talk Pokemon on a channel like mine. Let's see. Don, channel member Don. Glad I made it. When will the next live be? When will the next live be? Oh, live opening be. Oh, next live opening? Man, I'm thinking maybe a couple weeks. Maybe I'll do a couple weeks from now. Maybe like end of June. Get some boxes. I want to do a poll and see what people like want to see opened. I'll get a couple boxes ready and I'll get them up for sale. So probably a couple weeks. Do you think Celebrations ETB will be Generations 500 when the 30th anniversary is here? No. I don't know. Generations. That was a set that printed before like things really boomed. It was printed less supply. I don't know. But again, there's so much popularity. Maybe things can run it up that high. You know, I think $200 to $300, maybe 200 would be more realistic. I don't know if it's going to get to 500. That seems like a lot by 30th anniversary. That just seems high to me. I don't know about that. Don't know about that. Investor in Southern Island promo cards. I love the Southern Islands. Man, those binders, those whole binders sealed used to be like $200 back when I was like wanting to buy one, and I didn't. You know, I'm like, oh, I'll buy it later. It'll always be there. And now they're astronomical. Invest in them. I don't know. I'm always hesitant to invest in things that have already had run up. I just pulled up my live chat on my YouTube. Now I'm seeing it on here. I forgot Hermit Man. He was a channel member too. So Hermit Man, I didn't give you a shout out the same way I did Don Harrington. So thank you also for being a channel member, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. I don't see any of the channel members taking advantage of all the awesome emojis though I made. What the heck? Let's see. Real Breaking Nate has very little sealed, or he could have an ish load. He may be smarter than we think. Guys, here's the thing. I think almost everyone out there has modern sealed now. Even the bearish, like even like Pokenomics, right? Even like Sean reserved investments, like the like, you know, PK, right? PK, like the people who are always like all bearish on modern, bearish on Pokemon and all vintage, like, dude, all of them, they all have modern sealed. Even Dan, Catch 'em All Collectibles, like even though he says he doesn't invest, he puts away cases of modern sealed to sell in the future. Everyone who's investing in Pokemon has modern sealed. Don't believe the bearishness. Don't believe when anyone says negative about it. Everyone who knows a thing or two about Pokemon is putting money in modern sealed. I'm just going to leave that there. They don't like to admit it, right? They don't like to admit it, but they're doing it. Charizard UPCs are free money. It's actually dumb. That's why I just bought 16 of them, man. I already had some too. So I'm up to over 20 Charizard UPCs now because I feel the same way, Retro. What do you do? Oh my God. What do you do for a living? Are you retired? Oh, I wish. I'm in sales. So I'm in sales. So my schedule's a little funky. Basically, I mean, you know, my appointments are all over the place. So some days I'm really busy. Some days I'm not. Some days I work mornings and nights. Some days I'm working all day. Today I didn't have any midday appointments, and so I was able to do a live. So no, I'm definitely not retired. I wish. I've been buying Paldea Evolve booster boxes for $95 and Paldea ETBs for $40. So the ETBs, I think you can find them cheaper than $40. Great. $95 though, awesome price. Yeah, I mean that's what distributors are charging. That's what stores are paying. So that's my point. Like if you have a long-term mindset on this, $95, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. All right. My question, okay, it was 3RK. My question actually was in Crown Zenith shiny boxes or any boxes that are harder to sell than or ETBs booster boxes. Oh yeah, yeah. So collection boxes can be less liquid than ETBs or booster boxes. Absolutely. However, depending on the cards in the collection boxes, that's kind of the other end of like the gamble, right? Is you're buying into the collection box for the packs, but you're also buying in for the promos in there. So if the promos do well, that's like another avenue that can raise the value of the boxes. So if you're strictly just playing the value of the packs, like the set in general, you usually want to go with the booster boxes or ETBs. But the collection boxes can be a good way to play it because the promos can rise in value. But yeah, they are a little less liquid. But again, great way to play it. You can always break them down. If you got to break it down and sell the packs individually, you can always do that. It's less shipping. It's easier to move, things like that. Like it's weird. You'll see collection boxes sometimes selling for like less than what packs and the promos inside go for separately. It's a strange thing with collection boxes, but not all the time. There's also collection boxes that are 3, 4, 5 years old, selling for $100, $200, $300. So, you know, it's just hit and miss. They're really hit and miss. Brian Kurthers. I've just invested another $20K into sealed boxes in the last month. That's a huge position, my man. Good luck on that. I don't know what it's in, but yeah, I mean, I haven't gone 20K. I've gone a few more K, but not 20. So got some bullishness there from Brian. All right. Charizard UPC is great long-term, though. It is going to 30. $30? Come on. That's ridiculous. The packs inside are going to be worth more than that always. The real tech geek, Nico he's replying back to someone in the chat. My bad. Let me try to get through this chat a little bit. 3RK again. My question is in Crown Zenith special boxes harder to sell due to most people buy less quantity because no one buys cases or prefers ETBs. Yeah, okay, I already addressed that. Yeah, they can be a little harder to sell in the future, but you can see higher gains. You know, you're kind of playing that game. I saw Don. Whoa, Don gifted a sub to Retro. Thanks a lot, Don. I'm sure Retro appreciates that too. Awesome to see. Appreciate the support, man. I really do. See, alt arts were the XY through Sword and Shield. Now it's Sarawak. Justin's always good with the colorful commentary. Alex, can you put some background music like Pokemon National Park? Thanks for the live streams as always. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna get some what do they call it? Where you can play it without getting tagged, deemed for stealing their content. What is that called? Free use music, whatever. Free use music that I won't get tagged for by YouTube. So I'll find some of that in the future and make these more enjoyable for sure. They're doing it also. Anyone willing to sell UPCs for 80 each? I will buy up 200 of them from you. Wow. Yikes. Brian just invested 20K. Now he's looking to invest another 200. What is that? Hold on. I got to do the math. I got to do the math right now. 200 times 80. That's another 16K. Brian's dropping the big bucks. Old card shop. Why would I buy a cardboard waifu when I could buy a body pillow? Right? I hear. But you could buy the waifu for the top of the body pillow. Gives you something to look at. You forgot about that part of it, didn't you? Like Dan said, buy both. Sun and Moon alt art prices make sense. Japanese modern prices do not. Yeah, I agree. Like Japanese is 100%. It's gonna have a downturn of some kind. Doesn't mean it's gonna crash, right? You're gonna see those tens of thousands of cards crash. But yeah, like Sun and Moon alt arts, they were undervalued. Now they're properly to overly valued. They may see some leveling out in downturns, but they're not gonna see a crash. They are finally getting their day in the sun type thing. All right, what else we got? God, I'm trying to get through the chat, guys. Just looking. Question, stop signs. The stop signs got me, average player. How do you feel about the Darkrai, Umbreon, Espeon, Deoxys tag team box? Yeah, those promos are amazing. So I was following those. The 9s are absolutely like nothing. Even the 10s are yeah, those are the 10s that are expensive, I think. The 9s were really low. And the boxes are expensive. So the art is unbelievable. Being a promo, actually, I'll look those up right now. I believe, gosh, if I believe right, even the pop reports were low on those, and they're kind of scarce. Umbreon, who is it? Umbreon and who? Umbreon and Darkrai. That's right. All right, guys. I just want to look this up real quick because that's a really good question. Because this is your cards I was actually looking into. I can't find it right now off the top of my head. Oh, here it is right here. Perfect. Got it. Okay. So yeah, there's only 515 10s and there's 1,300 9s in that card. So it seems like a high pop report, but as I talked about before, I think like 1,000 plus is going to be the new normal for pop reports because a lot of the main cards are going in like the tens of thousands and 5,000s. So 1,300 is still relatively low for this modern era. The cards are absolutely beautiful. Judging by the 10s being low pops, they're obviously somewhat hard to grade. And so, yeah, the cards could be a good value. The boxes might be a good investment if people want to, crack more of those in the future, trying to chase that PSA 10 grade. Yeah, I like it. I like those cards. I like those boxes. Let's see. Hey, Brian, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the support. I'm happy you're here. Happy to hear you're helping the hobby continue dropping those stacks in it. Where's the best? So OGO3. Where's the best place to store my investments? Slabs, booster boxes, singles, etc. I have found temperature changes in rooms and outbuilding affects the products. So fortunately, I'm in Missouri, so we have basements. I have shelving in my basement, so I would just say make sure they're off the floor. As far as PSA cards go, so go to pumping my own stuff, but go to nostalgianomics.com. Go to the recommended products. I have cases on there for PSA, BGS, CGC cards, and then cases for top loaders. And they're fireproof, waterproof, all that. I think they're fireproof up to a certain amount. Like, it's not like if your house burns down, they're going to burn. But they're waterproof, and they keep all the dust and all that crap out. So I would pick up some. I use them. Like, that's what I keep my PSA cards in, those cases. And then I also have a safe, like a fireproof safe for my like higher end stuff. And then as far as the boxes go, I keep them in my basement on shelving in Tupperware containers, like just big giant Tupperware containers. I have the cases and boxes in those, and that works out good for me. So you can just do something like that. I found kind of works the best for storage. Love your not. We are blessed to have people like you in the community. Thank you really much. Really appreciate your insight. Guys, I didn't mean to put that on the screen. I'm just going down the line. So Chobo, Terrania, I really appreciate that. Thanks for the kind words, man. Love being here. I love being a part of it. When is the paid Patreon coming? No paid Patreon right now. All I got is the only paid thing I have are channel memberships. It's $1.99 if you want to support the channel. And then if it's $4.99 if you want to take part in the box breaks. Basically what it is it gives you 10% off all your packs. So, if you're buying over $50 in packs for a box break, 10% off, it basically pays for the membership. You get to use the cool emojis. You get to support the channel, and you get to save money on box breaks. So those are the only two things I have going. Other than that, I just appreciate you all being here, watching the videos, leaving your likes, leaving your comments. That's all the support I need. You're taking viewers from Eli. Oh, no. Is Eli live now? I don't want to do that. I like Eli. Sorry, Eli. My bad. Let's see what else we got. What do you think? I talked about this. What do you think about Lost Origin reprint coming? What do you think about Lost Origin and the reprint coming? If the reprint comes, it's definitely gonna go down in price. If it gets in the low hundreds, I'm a buyer again. If it only drops at like another $10, $20 and stays in like the 120s, 130s, I'll probably just stay with what I have. I probably won't buy more. I think there's other things to buy that are better. But yeah, if you see a massive drop, I think it's a great way to go. Percent. Yeah, Eli is live. Why would we disrespect Alex like that? Nah, man, he's got his schedule. Eli's one of those guys, man. Eli's got a schedule. Like, even when he wants to come on my lives or I come on his, like, he has a certain days, certain times where he can fit it in. He stays on a regimented schedule. I don't live like that. I'm all over the place. Like, sometimes I'm working at like midnight. Sometimes I'm up at 5 a.m. in the morning at the gym. Like, sometimes my schedule changes every day. I like it that way. Like, I just can't live regimented like that. So, no, I'm sure Eli's just probably on schedule. It's his time. It's my fault. I'm not at my normal time. So if blame anyone, blame me. Let's see. Man, straight up said, I'm not big enough. Sad times. Got to keep it real. I know my place. I know where I'm at. Catch 'em All Collectibles can hook you up with an intro to the Fanny Squad. Hey, that'd be nice. If Dan's in with I'll reach out to Dan about that. That'd be cool. I'd love to have Danny on the channel. Danny's awesome. Not a bad word to say about him. Nice. I'll be buying again. Would you love to see some Sun and Moon packs and mini Evolving Skies? Oh, Sun and Moon and Evolving Skies. Okay, Don. Good to know. I'll keep that in mind. So Sun and Moon and Evolving Skies packs. Got it. Okay. Oh, nice to see. Nice to see the emojis are getting used. Don and her. All right, Hermit Man, Don, appreciate it. I was hoping people would like using those. Retro. You're breaking my heart, man. You're breaking my heart. 0 sealed. Are you kidding me? After all we've been through together, I thought we were friends. I'm just kidding, man. I know you gotta flip. You gotta churn and burn. You gotta make that money. Look, it is no secret. If you guys want to make money now, if you want to make money fast, grade and flip. Sealed product is going to be that steady, slow growth over time. But if you got time on your hands and you got knowledge and expertise in this hobby, listen to Retro. Grade and flip. Let's see. I want a membership. Buy one, Justin. That's me shilling my channel. I'm shilling my channel memberships. Brian is not alone. I'm in over 30K. God help me. Daniel, don't say that, man. That's awesome, though. What are you in? What are you just in 30K like recently? Or is that what you built up to in your position? I'm interested to hear that. I'm over 1 million sealed in slabs. Yeah, I don't know, Justin. I don't know if I believe you on that one, man. Retro's thanking Don for the membership. Good to see. Now he can spam Tauros and Safari Pokemon set. How funny. What do we got? What's those boxes on the table? Oh, PJT. Those are just the boxes we opened. Paldea, Unified, and Unbroken Bounce. Those were the boxes for the box break. So packs sold out. We sold out that night. At the very end, there was like 8 left, and everyone bought them out, getting those last few pulls. It was a good time. Let's see. How many cards is considered a huge PSA card return? I mean, for me, like people, you got whales, right? You got, I mean, I don't know how many retro sends. You got Dan, catch them all. You got people that send large amounts of cards, like hundreds. Me, like if I send an order more than 100 cards, that's a big order for me. Like a lot of my orders that I've sent in the past have been like 50 to 75 cards, like sometimes even less. So like in my mind, like 100 card plus order, that's a big order. Now to some guys, they're like, oh, child's play. You're a noob. So it depends on who you ask is the question there. Do you think boxes like Electrode V, Virizion V are good pickups at $14 each? The Electrode one even has a Brilliant Stars pack. Yeah, I don't know. I took that route. I bought those Boltund boxes and the Pikachu V boxes. I bought those cases when they were like, I think they were like $78 a case, which it came out to like, let me do the math. It was like $12 or $13, I think. It was $78 divided by 6 boxes. Yeah, $13. So I picked up a bunch of those boxes for $13. No movement yet. Still early, but I don't know. I don't know if those lackluster collection boxes are going to do well. Depends on the packs. If the packs rise enough, they will. But I think they're probably better plays. I thought it was like a no-brainer at the time. But I thought they were just getting like beat down way too much because stores were just trying to off their inventory. I thought it was one of those items where stores were being forced to take because, as a store, if you don't know, you kind of have to take a whole plethora of products in order to get your allocation high for booster boxes and ETBs and stuff people actually want. And so stores will take a whole bunch of these, auxiliary items and they'll just kind of blow them out, get rid of them, recoup their money and make their money on the booster boxes or ETBs or other things or UPCs, whatever it may be. And so I thought that's what was happening. I thought stores were just dumping all these boxes just to get rid of them. And they were going to kind of have a good, kind of like a slingshot effect back up to at least $20 a box. Because that's what collection boxes usually cost. And it didn't happen. And so I'm a little leery of doing that with other boxes like the Electro and the Virizion, but I could be wrong. They could all come back in the future. I don't know. And yeah, the promo cards is what usually carries those boxes. That's why buying things like if they're popular Pokemon, like buying like the Blastoise VMAX or Venusaur VMAX boxes where the actual promo is a popular Pokemon, the promo will help the collection box rise too. But let's be honest, there's a million Pikachu cards. The Pikachu V, it's a Boltund. I mean, the promo cards aren't going to do it for those boxes. Electrode V, Virizion. I mean, those aren't going to do it for those boxes. So you're really banking on the packs. And if you're banking on the packs, there's other routes to go. But again, the entry point so low might not be a bad spot. Might not be a bad spot. Yeah. Also, yeah, the promo cards are very hard to grade. Pokemon just does not. They can't figure out the packaging. They cannot figure out how to package them. I don't get it. Do not get it. Oh, hey, Nick, what's up, brother? Thanks for stopping by the stream. Yep. OnlyFans is next. I'm considering OnlyFans or Patreon. Which way I'll have you guys vote. Which way do I go on that? Totally joking. Let's see. Do you all think the Mega Charizard EX from Wild Blaze is a bit underrated? I really love those vivid, crazy artworks. If you talk about the blue one, yeah. I mean, the blue one, the full art Charizard, like they had great arts, and I don't know why. Well, actually, no. Come to think of it, like the 9s are low, the 10s are not undervalued at all. The 10s are expensive, you know. But like I know the price of the booster box is super high. Like maybe you could argue they should be valued higher, but no, I think those cards graded high grades are pretty properly valued. Get Danny Twice Baked Jake for a real. He's the illusion Pokemon no one can catch. I actually tried reaching out to Twice Baked Jake before. No response. Tell you guys, I'm a nobody in this space like right now. I mean, the channel's growing, and I appreciate every single one of you that show up. But like, as far as like the big guys who garner those 100,000 plus views and million views, like this just ain't where we're at. We're not there. We're not there right now, guys. Justin begging for a membership. I want to be a member. No one will buy me one. I'm 1.3 million in Pokemon. Oh, God. Okay, flip to flip. You know, One Piece serialized cards are going to the moon, and some people are saying there is no serialized card in Pokemon, but the skateboard card can Pokemon. The skateboard card on Pokemon Center are no. The skateboard card? I'm confused. Is there a skate? Maybe I'm out of the loop. I don't know of a skateboard card. Don't know. You guys can fill me on that. Don't know. Don't know. What do you think about older tins for a hold? I think they've already been a great hold. A lot of the older tins, older lunchbox, the older, like, whatever they call it, lunchbox, collector's chests, those have been a great hold. They've done amazing. So one of the things I've actually, some of them, like, if you can look at some of the promos that come in them, if there's certain promos that are very scarce on the market, very hard to grade in 9s and 10s, and like the cost difference makes sense in some of those older tins and boxes and chests, yeah, they actually can make sense, because eventually people are going to want to gamble, and they're going to say, I'm not going to pay that much for a 9 or a 10. I'm going to buy this sealed product and try to open it myself. And then, the packs continue to rise with the sets as well. So yeah, they can always be good plays. I like those plays. Definitely like those plays. I love Don shilling me. If you get a chance to do a pack break with Alex, do it. Better price than those other guys and more fun. Love it, Don. Thanks so much. Yeah, I try to make it fair. I'm not trying to, like, definitely not trying to kill anyone on the prices. I'm just trying to make it fair. They're a little upcharged in like buying it off the open market. But I try to source it or find product as cheap as possible so I can, make the box breaks fair. I'm not trying to do that to anyone. And then I also get, if you don't get a hit, I always give hits out. Like I'll give something. You'll get something doing a box break with me. Wait, did I do it? Wait, did I do it? I've reached the end. I reached the end of chat finally. We're finally to the end. What do you think about older tins? I appreciate the enthusiasm, Justin. I hope I get to that level as well. It'd be fun. It'd be really fun. Being honest, spend 50 with you versus 150 with someone else. Yeah, it's no brainer then. Guys, we've been going what? We've been going 2 hours and 38 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. I've been having a blast hanging out with you guys. I am going to have to get going here soon. Any last minute questions? Anyone throws last minute questions in before we end here? I'll answer them, and then I'm going to get going. I actually do have some work to do later today, unfortunately. So I did enjoy my off time today, though, hanging out with you guys in the chat. And that way, you guys can go to Go to Eli's channel if he's live. I don't want to be competing with Eli for the lives. Let's see. Daniel DeGregorio. No, DeGregorio. Daniel DeGregorio. I think I got that right. I'm in an ES booster box sealed case since December last year. It was probably me that caused that kaboom with the Evolving Skies. That's awesome to hear, man. Congrats on that. Still holding. You got some diamond hands still holding that. Ben, I skipped your question, did I? I'm sorry, man. Have a good one. Yeah, you did, but you skipped my question. Ben, leave your question right now. Leave it. I didn't know I skipped it. Leave it again. Repost it. Let's see. What do you think about old Japanese cards like Gym 2, Japanese, singles worth it? Yeah, so that's like the big question right now. I've had people literally ask me, hold on. I've had people reach out to me and say, Alex, don't you think all these cards are undervalued? Why are the Japanese cards less than the English? And I have to remind them, hey, how long have you been here? English has almost always been more than their Japanese counterparts as far as set cards go. Like once you get into promos and exclusives and all that, they skyrocket. But yeah, that's the big question. Is this Japanese hype in Modern going to carry back to all of the older sets? And are those going to get pumped higher than their English counterparts? I don't know. It's definitely a gamble, a play there, though. Like, if you want to take those plays, if that's your like thesis, it is a play that might be worth taking. So yeah, I agree. Like, if people all the people getting into Japanese or Chinese right now, they may do that. That's a good possibility because that's their language, right? Like Chinese, I don't really know. Like I don't really know much about how China and Japan. I know like they're like, I don't know how much they interact, but I don't know if like in China, if you know Japanese before you know English, or if you don't even know, I don't know how that works. Like I'm super, super ignorant to that culture and how that works. So like, I don't know if being in China, if you would gravitate toward Japanese cards or English cards first. But yeah, definitely with the hype in Japanese, it could carry all the older sets too. Nick, Feet Finder. So we got Feed Finder, Patreon, or OnlyFans. I got to pick between those, huh? Let's see. All right, here's Ben's question. You're cool, mate. Just said I grabbed a few battle region boxes, only boxes under 100 Australian here, and has the Misty and Cynthia Garchomp, thinking they may go all right. It sounds like a Minty and Cynthia. I mean, that sounds good right there. Garchomp, I mean, I guess he's all right, but that should be good. $100 Australian. I'm trying to think how those dollars correlate. I mean, it sounds like a good product. I mean, it sounds like the price point should be right. I'm not too familiar, US to Australian dollars. So I couldn't tell you there, but yeah, that's what I look for. I keep it real simple. Like, look for the good arts, the good characters, the good sets. Don't try to be smarter. Like, try to be smarter than you actually are. Just take the plays that are in front of your eyes that usually work out in the best. Justin, had any but me noticed that the new Scarlet Violet era cards are like a PSA 7 out of the pack? If not, take a loop back and back of your card and look at I mean, horrific quality. Anyone else? Yeah, and that opening. So that Paldea, I did that Paldea box opening. I really noticed it, and it was really. Oh, it hurt. It hurt pulling these cards for people and they're not looking the greatest. And I kept shouting out Kurt's card care. I know that's like a big discussion in the community, right? Is the whole like, should you do the Kurt's card care thing, right? Should you polish up your cards and should you try to, get dings out and put them in the humidors and try to have the moisture sucked out to get rid of denting? And I know it's like a huge thing in the hobby, like if it's right or wrong, but yeah, I was shouting out Kurt's card care, like, hey, Kurt might be getting a lot of business coming up with the Scarlet Violet era because they definitely need some work out of the pack. That's for sure. That is for sure. Down here, KC definitely old Japanese has a good market, but if you sell, you'll get a lot of international buyers. Make sure your shipping costs. Yeah. Oh, so he's saying so he agrees the Japanese might see a big increase on vintage. Guys, thanks for all the love. Thanks for all the comments. I've seen a lot of people saying they love the streams. Had a great time. Awesome to hear. Poke Collectibles, 6:30 a.m. in Sydney. Managed to catch one at end of your live. Yo, yeah, I'm gonna remember that. So this is a good time for the EU. I'll make sure to try to get a better time for the Australia, Japanese, Chinese audience and the other ones. I'll switch up the live so I can kind of get a portion of everyone in these. What else have we got? Anything left before I get off? All right. I think that's pretty much it. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's a good live. Thanks for everyone for stopping by. Hope you guys are finding some good plays, good stuff for your collection. Keep enjoying the hobby. Let's keep having a good time. I'll be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.